WKT
Boilermaker Road Race. Brought to you by Utica National Insurance Group and these fine sponsors.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Boilermaker 2024 here on News Channel 2. I'm Steve McMurray, along with Kristen Copeland. You are looking live at the finish line. We are here down by the Saranac Brewery, and here we go again. We were talking about it all week long. I guess as you get older, things that happen once a year seem to come more frequently, and here we are again. But it's a great day out and a little humid for the runners. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but Boilermaker 2024, here we are.
I was just going to say, every Boilermaker is a different experience, and this one is going to be the humidity. That's going to be the story that we're telling this morning.
Absolutely, and we'll get a weather forecast in just a few minutes. Want to bring you up to speed, obviously, given the events on the national scene over the past 24 hours. We're going to be monitoring the situation through our partners at NBC and CBS. I will tell you that CBS is doing a special program from 9 to 10:30 this morning. About the attempted assassination of former President Trump. That'll be on at 9 o'clock on CBS Utica. Obviously, as events warrant, we may have to break away from our coverage for the time being. Hopefully we don't. But obviously, we'll keep an eye on those events for you and that situation for you as we go forward. But for this morning, we're talking Boilermaker. It's a great day. More than 10,000 runners in the 15K. The 5K is close to full. Very special 5K runner this year, Summer Walsh. We want to keep an eye on her. And I tell you, it's great to be back here.
Year number 47. Yes, my nerves are a little bit different this year. It's not just because of the live broadcast, but here are your numbers right there. We just got word wheelchair field bumped up to 37 now, and the 5K as of Friday was still growing. They were hoping by midnight to cut that off, but because it didn't reach its 4,500 cap, they were going to continue to register runners. Here are the start times this morning. Boilermaker 5K begins at 7:15. The 15K wheelchair racers take off at 7:45, and the rest of the 15K pack follows at 8 a.m.
That's right, and then we're going to check in with some lights and sounds all morning long. We've got Jason Paulus and race analyst Nate Getman is back for another year, and Nate brings some great perspective as a phenomenal runner in his own right, but really understanding the local running scene as well as the national and international flavors. So Jason and Nate will be in the media truck. Kirk Tupai, once again, he's not pictured there, but Kirk will be on the motorcycle following the elite runners. There's a look at our team. Now, about a mile in, you're going to see Ben Kinney and Thomas Tallarino. They're down on Culver Ave, right around Welshbush Ave, and Spencer Davidson and Luke Radel at the 5K start, which is also the 6-mile mark of the 15K. So we've got you covered, but that's not it.
No, that's not it. It's been a wild week in weather. We talked about the humidity this morning, but, you know, just days ago, tornado coverage on News Channel 2. So we want you to know what to expect when you're heading out the door to come watch as a spectator.
That's right. So let's head to the starting line if we can, because we have Katrina Smith there, but Katrina brought Eric along with her this morning. Bill's running, of course. Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is running, but Meteorologist Eric Gage is with Katrina, and they're going to take it from the start line right now, as well as a quick check of the weather. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, everyone. Eric and I got up bright and early, probably not as early as all of you because we both rolled in a little bit late, didn't we?
Yeah, a little on the later side, but I can say this. The weather, I think, is prime for some runners. I know later on it might get a little bit on the warm side, but for now it's upper 60s, in fact, upper 50s, and the sun is shining.
The sun is shining. It is beautiful. So you said a little bit later it might get a little warmer. For running, is this an ideal day for the running of the Boilermaker 2024?
Well, so 2 years ago, we had that sunshine. It was a cool start, but low humidity, and that was prime. Of course, a lot of runners set some records. Last year, I should say, we had higher humidity, but also some storm chances south. But this year, we've got no thunderstorms expected this morning. The humidity is on the higher side, and it all depends on, you know, how warm it gets later on this afternoon, when it gets to the upper 70s, low 80s, high humidity, that might play a factor. I think a lot more runners will start using some of the water stations compared to the 2 years ago.
Sure.
But I think that, at least for starters, right now, this is looking like good weather.
This is gorgeous, and I just felt a slight breeze. I am not a meteorologist, but I felt it, so I know it was there. Also this year, electrolyte stations. So you're not just going to have the water stations, there's the electrolyte stations. So that really is going to help the runners as well. You have to replace those electrolytes as you're doing this. What's happening right now at the start line? You're seeing a lot of volunteers. You're seeing the DPW crews, you're seeing fire crews, you're seeing police crews. 3,000 volunteers make this show go on. Those are the people that let us through the roadblocks when we were running late this morning.
Yes, that was a case. They're all amazing volunteers, and you can actually see behind us, if you can see a very glimpse of it, they're setting up the American flag on top of the fire truck, which is something that is I would say the pinnacle of the start line. You see the runners coming through, the American flag on top, and overall, in fact, they're setting it up right here to the right of us right now. And in just the span of an hour or so, we'll start to see some of the runners go through.
Absolutely. It really is truly an emotional piece of the running of the Boilermaker. When you see the flag go up, you take a look and you're here at the start line and you see these people that trained all this time to run this. You see the wheelchair racers, and it is truly an emotional event for us. How many years have you done this?
I've done this for about 2 years. This is my first time here on scene. The past 2 years I was at the station doing some weather as well. Last year, unfortunately, I was kind of sweating a little bit because the thunderstorm's about miles away. And of course, when it comes to lightning, you don't want to have that when people are running. Safety comes first. But for this year, I'm happy to be down here on scene right now and seeing all the sights and sounds that make the Boilermaker the best 15K in the country.
And I think you truly are going to have a whole new appreciation for it once you've seen this. I don't know if we can pan over and see the flag at this point, but we will definitely get you a shot of it right before the race starts. You are going to have a whole new appreciation for the Boilermaker Road Race after this. I know you already did already.
Yes.
But you are going to just see it in a different light.
And on top of this, we will also be going on Facebook Live a few times. I'll be manning the camera, so in case you want to see a few more glimpses of stuff going on behind the scenes, you can tune into Facebook. I'll have a few. In fact, just after this, I'm going to take a video of them raising the American flag as the race begins.
And so what's great for you if you're watching Eric on Facebook Live is you get behind the scenes. What's bad for us is we have to watch what we say behind the scenes. because you see what we say on camera here when we know the microphone is hot. Anyway, so you'll get both views. You'll get on TV and behind the scenes. But let's send it back to you guys for now.
Katrina, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Katrina and Eric. And I always like that. We talked about that before. When we get someone who's in one of our positions for the first time, perhaps first time covering the race, and getting their perspective, it's really, because we've done this so many times. When you have a new person do it, they are just it reinvigates us.
I couldn't agree more. And I love the behind-the-scenes comments.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
right about that. But seeing that flag go up, it touches you in the heart and really reminds us what we're doing here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So 7:15 is the, where are we? 7:08 right now. So we're about 9 minutes away from the start of the 9 or 7 minutes away from the start of the 5K. There's a lot of numbers here. I was told there'd be no math. That is the start of the 5K. So we're going to go back to Burstone Road. That is where we find Spencer Davidson and Luke Radel. Speaking of first-time coverage, Luke's first coverage of the Boilermaker here on WKTV. So let's head out to those gentlemen out on Burstone Road. Morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning, Steve. Normally right now I would be right in the middle of my REM sleep. But today, on Boilermaker Sunday, we're up bright and early and really excited for this one. You can hear right now we're getting ready for the 5K start here, a much bigger field for the 5K. As you heard Kristen say earlier, last year there was just over 3,000, over 4,000 runners this year. A lot of them still flocking to the start line. And we're actually going to take a second here as we're doing the national anthem to get things ready. So let's take a second to look in.
And the
All right. So the anthem has been sung. The festivity is about to get underway here on Boilermaker Sunday. And as Steve mentioned, lots of us have been through this so many times before. Many of us, though, haven't. And this is their first time. And that is Luke Radel here joining me at the 5K start this year. And Luke, just, your first time here with WKTV covering this great event. Just what are you looking forward to, going into this day?
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. I'm a hometown boy from New Hartford originally. Go Spartans. And it's great to be here. I knew I had to tell Steve, I got to be working today. I got to be covering this. It's a really exciting event that really brings the whole community together. I remember last year I was watching the Boilermaker coverage on TV when my friend Casey won. I ran cross country with him. He won the 5K. So looking forward to seeing who's in the crowd today. You could always see someone that you know or a few someones that you know. Some people coming up today that we knew from the get-go. So it's always great to see everybody and get out in the community together.
Yeah, 100%. This is such a great community event, and it's impossible to go really 5 minutes without seeing people that you know, and even people as they're getting ready to come to the 5K start, stopping off, saying hello. Everybody's in good spirits. The weather is beautiful right now. We heard Eric giving his forecast just a little while ago, but a little bit the sun's coming up, so it's starting to get a little bit hot, but really it's a beautiful start here for this 15K.
Yeah, it was a little chilly this morning, but that's actually kind of a little bit what you want. You don't want to be sweating on the way out here. But some people were coming up a little late. You don't want them to be sweating on their way up. They were getting a little bit of a warm-up run in, trying to get here in time. But no, it's great to be out here, and hopefully it doesn't get too humid throughout the day as it goes along, but we'll be right here following along with everybody as they're going through it.
Yeah, and one of the best things too is this 5K. It's so indicative of how this entire event has grown over the past 40 plus years, almost 50 years at this point. The 5K started as a training run. It started as a way to kind of get people ready to run the 15K, to work their way up to running a bigger race. And now it is become an event in and of itself. 4,500 plus racing in this year's race, or registered at least to run in the 5K here on Burstone Road. And it's also the very middle of the course for the 15K, mile 6. So it's just, what a great spot we're here. And we hear Gary Spears, Big Papa here. He is getting the crowd pumped up. He's so good here at being very lively early in the morning, giving the 2-minute warning here as we're getting ready for the 5K. We're going to step out of the way for a second. And Luke, you said your friend won last year. Casey running again this year, or you don't know yet?
Not entirely sure. We're going to have to spot him in this front row. I'd imagine he'd be up there if he was first place the last time around. But yeah, no, Big Papa's got the music going. It makes me want to run. The adrenaline's pumping at this point. But no, it's a great, I think the 5K is like a bit of an appetizer, right? For folks who are interested in getting involved in the Boilermaker but don't feel like they can run the full 9 miles, the full course, if you will. This is kind of an entree into what could come next. And maybe the folks running the 5K this year want to get ready for the 15K next year. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? It doesn't make me want to run. I still would rather talk than run. But we've seen a lot of people that we know, lots of people that we don't necessarily know, but have definitely stood out. We saw the gingerbread man come.
And you can't catch him. You cannot catch him. He's the gingerbread man.
So he is my pick. We'll have to find the bib number and see what the name is, but the gingerbread man, look for him at the finish line in about 45 minutes from now or so.
I imagine spot him at the finish line. I feel like you can see him. He'll stick out.
It's kind of hard to miss. So we are under a minute away here from the 5K. Now 40 seconds away as 4,500 runners get set for the appetizer, as Luke said here on Boilermaker Sunday, kicking off the festivities. 30 seconds away here now. The music is playing and the crowd is getting ready. There's actually a lot of people here starting to line the streets on Burstone Road, but you'll see more trickle in as we get closer and closer to when the 15K should be running through. So the streets starting to get a little packed here in Utica's Boilermaker Sunday here, seconds away from the 5K start.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And we are off. It is Universal Church for Boilermaker 5K.
All right. We are underway. Did you? Look at that.
There he was. He's in the red shirt there. He's all
very cool. Right by the camera. Right by the camera.
Super cool.
And not even 30 seconds into the race. But we are underway here on Boilermaker Sunday, the Utica National 5K underway. More than 4,000 runners crossing the finish line here over the the start line here over the next few minutes on Burstone Road. And then in just a few short minutes from now, we'll start to see the very front of the pack begin to cross the finish line. down by the brewery. And already someone's excited. I mean, a little bit of hooting and hollering already here. Again, early in the morning, but it doesn't feel like that here on Boilermaker Sunday. Everybody is in midday form already. Lots of smiles out here as we see somebody just running by on crutches. That is impressive. That is really impressive. Yeah. Yeah, there was a woman just running by on crutches. You might have seen her just come across the camera.
A couple tutus.
Yep. Oh, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a lot of great costumes here. Again, we saw the gingerbread man before the start.
Hot dog right over there. If you see him.
Yep.
There he is.
Last year, there were a bunch of guys dressed up as Utica Club cans. Oh, one of our former teachers from New Hartford.
Yeah, it was my AP US history and government teacher just drove by.
So now I'm dating myself, and this is actually kind of. It really, time has gone so quickly, because I remember it wasn't too long ago that I was one of the newbies and covering this for the first time, and now I'm the one saying that the teacher that you had was like first starting out when I was at New Hartford, and he was a student teacher, and then in his first years there, so that shows the age gap between us, as he's now been there for. Shout out Mr. Parker. He's a great teacher. But we got guys running by, and we're gonna see a steady stream of runners coming across the start line here at the 5K, really for the next few minutes. Yeah, got the flower girl. You got some bright pink that is gonna stand out in the middle of the crowd. So it is.
We got a golf bag.
Oh my! Utica clubs. There's a man carrying a golf bag.
I think he's ready for the post-race party, Spencer.
Yeah. He might have, you know what? He had a couple of pockets on that golf bag, so I think he might have a couple of Utica clubs in there.
Post-race party early.
Yeah, he might have had a couple of Utica clubs at the ready.
Of course.
So again,
there are a couple of friends of mine from New Hartford as well.
I've actually seen a few in the pack already, and this is such a wonderful thing about this event too, because of the fact that there are so many people that may have left town, but this might be the one weekend a year that they come back to the area, and it just shows like what this event has meant to this community for such a long period of time. What's going on, guys? We've got.
They know you, Spencer. I don't know. You've been around a little bit. They're still getting to know me, you know?
You know what, though? You've already been endearing yourself to the wonderful viewers that we have here on News Channel 2. There's one of my best friends. I was actually the best man at his wedding. Gave a fantastic speech, I might add. But yeah, we are still really at the very beginning of this, the pack still. I would say just about getting maybe halfway through. It's going to be a steady stream of runners coming across the start line. And remember, when these runners start, they have chips in their bibs, and their times do not start until they cross the start line. So the times that you're seeing on your screen do not start for each individual runner until they cross the start line. So that is the overall time of the race, but the runners, when they cross the finish line, will get their own individual time based on when they started, when they cross the start line, and when they finish. So that doesn't affect anybody's timing scores or anything like that. It's a really cool system that they have in place here. You can make sure to after the race, head to WKTV.com for the results for all the events here today. And you'll be able to see where you finished, where your friends finished, where your parents finished, your cousins finished.
Where the hot dog finished.
Where the hot dog
gingerbread man finished.
Although I don't think that there's like a note there. There should, you know what? That's what I'm going to propose for next year, is that we add a uniform type of thing.
I love that.
Yeah, for the rosters, for the runners, so that we can see, like, okay, this was the person who was.
Like one of those domino style, like hot dog trackers on the website. That'd be perfect.
Absolutely. All right, so we are now starting to see the runners tail off here at the start line for the 5K. In just a few minutes from now, we're going to start to see them trickle across the finish line down at the brewery, and that is where we're going to send it back down to Kristen and Steve.
All right, Luke and Spencer, thank you so much. And as you mentioned, a bigger field this year for the 5K. That's a great shot looking up Burstone Road right there. And The 5K is underway. They'll be down here. We might see the winner in 20 minutes or so, right? What was that? Actually, the fastest one was 15 minutes and 18 seconds. So, wow. They will be flying. That is flying, no doubt. But we're underway. Again, the big events are the 5K, the wheelchair start, and then the big 15K start. Check one of those boxes. The 5K is on its way. There you see that amazing shot looking up Burstone Road, and they will turn onto Champlin momentarily.
Yeah, and I've obviously never run the 5K, but we drove the course the other day just to kind of give my daughter an idea of, okay, this is where you're going to go. You're starting on an incline.
Yeah.
This event, you are going up. So that's got to be challenging. I guess the good news is what goes up comes down.
Eventually, right.
Eventually, but
and it's, and for the 15K, that's, they asked Joe, was it Joe or Jim? They asked the other day, well, what's the toughest hills of the course? Is it Valley View or is it Burstone Road? I know the one time I ran it, Burstone Road was the toughest because you're 6 miles in. It's
the
like
heat. Well,
it's
the
like
sun too.
The sun's baking on the concrete, and it's like this. At least Valley View, it's picturesque. It's like this, and it's early on, so your adrenaline's still up. But I would say Burstone is tough. But at least for the 5K, your adrenaline's there. You're ready to go. You're able to overcome maybe that challenge at least. But we're going to see some of those folks in probably 15 or 20 minutes. And it's great. Like, Luke, that was a great way to word it. It's the appetizer. Right? Folks that maybe have never run before, I want to try that Boilermaker. Ease yourself into it with that 5K. And
Not that it's easy.
No. Right. And then if you want to do the 15K next year,
well, that was the whole purpose of launching the 5K. And at first, yes, if you remember, it started as just a fun run. It wasn't a timed event. And then years in, we realized, especially across the country, the trend changed. People were competing in 5K events.
Absolutely.
And then we see a time of 15 minutes.
No doubt.
Multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to mention the 5K is brought to you by Utica National Insurance. We are going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll have more of Boilermaker 2024, including a breakdown of the elite field. That's when News Channel 2's coverage of Boilermaker 2024 continues after this. Stay with us.
WKTV's coverage of the Boilermaker, brought to you locally by the member companies of the Utica National Insurance Group.
Welcome back to News Channel 2's coverage of Boilermaker 2024. Steve McMurray along with Kristen Copeland down here at the finish line at the Saranac Brewery. And we've got the whole KTV team out and about on the field. Kristen just got a picture of Summer running, so she's good to go so far.
I'm good to go.
She's going to be fine.
I'm good to go.
She's going to be fine.
I can talk more now.
You can talk. I don't know if she's going to win it. That'll be next year, but she's going to do just fine. So the 5K is underway. The crowd is starting to fill in down here, which is wonderful. Little bit of a breeze here, which is best for all.
It is sticky though. That humidity is starting to kick in.
Yeah.
We talked to meteorologist Eric Gage early on. He said we were approaching 60 degrees at that point, and I've got to be at 60 at this point. This is good running weather at this point.
At this point, right. But we're still 45 minutes away, give or take. 40. I cannot do math this morning. About half hour away from the 15K. Speaking of the 15K, Nate Getman, our race analyst, is there along with our Boilermaker legend, Jason Paulus. Gentlemen, take it away.
Steve, you're too kind. Thank you. Good morning. Nate, good to be here. I am excited. It is time to talk about the 15K finally. So let's talk elite men first. Jamel Yimmer is back. He's the course record holder. He is two-time defending champion. Can he be the first male to three-peat here at the Boilermaker?
I think he will be. He's a favorite in a close race. I would love to see Bias Mbasa sneak up there and take the title and be the first American to win since 1991.
Wow, that would be impressive. Let's also talk about more on that list. You've got Wesley Kiptu, John Career, and like you said, Simbasa, who is now with the United States. When does this race become a 2- or 3-man race, in your opinion, especially with the weather today?
Well, usually you'll see the pack break apart sometime in the golf course and coming out onto the parkway. That's where they will separate, and by the time we get to Birdstone, up towards Utica University, that's where we will see the final contenders.
All right, let's talk about the women now. We'll change the board back at the station. The defending champion, Jessica Shalenga, is back from Kenya. She also has the course record. We had a heck of a year last year, but she might not be the one to win it this year. Tell me why.
Immaculate Achol was added this week, and I think is running stronger than our winner. And I think ran a really fast 10K in Spain. Vaulted her up to number 4 in the world rankings right now. Just think she's just a stronger runner.
Awesome. Let's look at the locals now. Sam Morris on the men's side is back again. Jordan Hoffman. These are the usual suspects, if you will.
Sam Morris, I cannot believe his consistency. I did this run for a number of years, and I reached a point where I didn't want to do it anymore. And he's still here every year running at a consistent sub 48. Wow. Clip, which is amazing.
He's in his upper 30s now, isn't he?
He may be 40 by now, so I think he'll be contending for some Masters money. So,
awesome. Now let's look at the women's side of things, and you've got Alex French, Jessica Charles. Jessica Charles from Oriskany is still running really, really well.
Again, someone else she's won Masters money the last 2 races, and I expect her to be up there again in the prize money, and she'll be challenged by 2 local scholastic runners who are great, Alex French and Cora Hinsdale.
And I want to talk about the wheelchair division real quick. You got Josh Cassidy's coming back. He's won here multiple times, and he won here last year. But one name we want to throw out there, because the women's defending champion is not back. She won it multiple times, but it is Hoda Elzerbaji, who is from Egypt, now running with Illinois. But the interesting story here, Nate, is she built her racing wheelchair from bicycle parts.
That's amazing. So many amazing stories in the wheelchair, which is going to take off pretty soon. A lot of that field has been affected by the U.S. Paralympic trials that are going on. So we've lost some of the field, but still some great competitors here.
All right, and I want to tackle real quick before we send it back to Kristen and Steve, the weather. Do you think we could come close to where the course record was?
I don't think. We certainly have the runners who could do it. I don't think the conditions are great, and then we're going back to that course that we had 2 years ago and every year before that. So I think look to the 2022 times to compare.
That'll be fun to watch. I can't wait. We got to get on the truck. I want to send it back to you guys at the finish line. Boy, this is going to be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it. From one legend to another. Steve, back to you.
Go ahead, Kristen, he met you. The 5K folks are coming into view, and wow, so we're just about 15 minutes flat. And what did we have last year, we say?
No, this is the fastest time, is 15:18.
Okay, so it doesn't look like we're going to have a record this year, but still, these folks are absolutely flying.
We're waiting to hear names as they're called. I'm too far away to see the bib.
Yeah, no,
Here we go.
All right. It looks like 15559 maybe. I can't. We'll listen for the PA announcer's call. We don't get a list of 5K list of competitors, so we'll see who this is. Now he's kicking it in. He's trying for his PR, I guess. 15:39 is the winning time of the 5K.
This is Dan
Cassatelli from Deansboro.
Dan Cassatelli, local winner. Like to see that. Congratulations, Dan. And the top 2 finishers right below our stage here, giving each other congratulations.
This is our 3rd finisher here this morning for the 5K race.
So, 5K winner is Dan Cassatelli. I say 15:38 unofficially.
This is Christopher Tringali from Millville, Maine.
Christopher Trisgali from Millville, Maine. Wow, so they come from all over to run not just the 15, but the 5.
I did hear from a lot of people at the expo, not to say these gentlemen did this, but at the expo, a lot of people were saying they're dropping down from the 15K to the 5K this year for 2 reasons. Humidity, maybe they're not ready, and because the 5K didn't cap, they were able to do that right up until the expo time.
Let's welcome Drew Patterson and Brendan Conway to the finish line.
I mean, 5-6 minute miles here,
Yeah,
we're
that's
talking?
These guys looking pretty, they're happy to do that. Have one of those guys get that young gentleman's name. No, yeah, the runner.
Let's keep those hands going for all of our runners.
Look at the crowds here too. Look at the fan base here. Since COVID, the Boilermaker is building back, and everyone has said what sets the Boilermaker apart from other races are spectators, our entertainment, and really just the red carpet that gets rolled out for all of the out-of-towners here. 45 entertainment acts in the 9.3 mile course.
Wow. Yeah, that's, and you know what? And
we haven't seen that before.
Right, and as you're running, that is, it pumps you up like you have no idea. You know, especially those tougher parts of the course when you're trying to find that extra boost of energy. Then you go another 100 yards, and you know, there's a band playing, or there's singers, or it's just, it's really great. We're gonna have to get confirmation on the winner of the 5K, because we have bibs that say Dan Casatelli. There's two different, so we want to make sure we'll get that confirmed for you through the folks at Leon Timing.
There's a bib issue?
I don't think there's a bib issue. I don't know if they announced the correct name coming across.
Okay.
So with the real.
Well, when he was right next to us, and you said, "Great job, Dan," he said, "Yeah."
He said yes, and then but then when we asked the second place finisher.
Say again. Here we have the women's finisher right here.
Here's Aiden Ferguson.
Annika Hurley. Annika Hurley. Annika Hurley
Is what we're being told, and again, we'll get this. We'll get the officialdom from the folks at the Boilermaker and Leon Timing, and the race folks that'll help us out with that. Again, we don't get a list of 5K entrants for this, so. But if you recognize the folks coming across the line, you know who they are, and they're all doing exceptionally well, being that it is less than 20 minutes in still.
Well, the sooner they get here, the sooner they can start the party in the back. and they skip the hot temperatures.
That is true. That is true. Now, I don't know if they start pouring the beer at 7:35. I don't think they do, but we'll see. But yeah, so the 5K finishers, men's and women's, have come across. So we are rolling along with our coverage of the Boilermaker Road Race. As you see the 5K, some more 5K finishers coming across. We are about 10 minutes away from the Boilermaker wheelchair start. And there is a very young competitor coming in.
I think I know who this is.
Okay.
I'm waiting for them to call it, though. My vantage point is a little further than yours.
Yeah, he's got a shirt that says New Hartford football, so he is all smiles, all smiles.
Great job, kiddo.
That's unbelievable. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have more coverage for you, including the very inspirational Boilermaker wheelchair start right here on News Channel 2.
Is that Johnny?
There's a reason we've been named a top.
We're back live for Boilermaker coverage, year number 47, and we are watching the 5K finishers here, and we have some updates on who won.
All right, so Dan Casatelli was announced as the winner. He actually finished second. Dan is 16 from Deansboro, so a fantastic time. He 15:51. But the actual winner of the 5K is Brendan Carter. He had the time of 15:39. He is from Watertown, Massachusetts. So Brendan Carter is your winner of the 5K, but congratulations again to Dan Casatelli, 16-year-old out of Deansboro, coming in second. And the top women's finisher was Annika Hurley out of Glastonbury, Connecticut, with a time of 19:04. So yeah, and it was fun. We were talking during the 5K start. We saw Dave Morehouse, owner of Morehouse Appliances, and he was one of the first ones to come across the line too. So he was in very good shape. So again, Congratulations to all the 5K competitors. So there you see some more youngsters coming through. Again, this is that training run, as we talked about, that they may eventually go up to the 15K, the main distance. But great day so far, with a lot of finishers, as we said, 4,000 plus entered in the 5K race, and we are about 5 or 6 minutes away from the start of the wheelchair race.
You know what I like about the 5K? They seem very happy. Not to say the 15K runners are not, but at this point, you know, that they're having a good time. They're not feeling maybe the pains that the 15K runners are feeling. And like I said, they get to the party first.
Absolutely. So win, 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 no matter where they finish, right?
All right, let's go back to the start line. We have Katrina Smith and Eric Gage standing by, getting us ready for the wheelchair start. Preparations are underway there. Good morning once again.
Good morning, Kristen and Steve. Yes, we are at the start line for the wheelchair racers, and then where the 15K will start a little while later as well. 33 racers are lined up for the Boilermaker wheelchair race. Now, Eric, you were talking with Jason a little bit earlier. Our own Jason Paulus, he lives and breathes Boilermaker for the weeks leading up to it, so he knows everything about it. Eric, you learned about who the top contenders are, who the defending champions are. He is now an expert on what's going on here. Just really emotional, too, at the start line, seeing them all line up. They've worked so hard. They've trained so hard. Eric, tell us what we have here.
Yeah, a lot of hard work went into this. In fact, I learned from Nate Getman that a few of the Illinois racers actually trained in the Paralympic, if I can see this right here, the Paralympic Training Center out in Illinois. So these are folks that have done some very hard work, and of course something that even I couldn't do, not only just with running, but also the amount of strength that goes into this. So, but if we take a look at some of the favorites, again, I talked again to Nate Getman and as well as Jason Paulus.
Some of the favorites here, the defending champion is Joshua Cassidy, correct?
Oh, well,
no? Am I wrong here?
I pointed the wrong one. Hold on.
Joshua Cassidy for the men.
Well, he's the favorite this year. I have to remember what I'm writing right here. Hoda El Shabaji is actually the favorite for the women's, and the defending champion William Brashinen is also the favorite for this year as well. Well, Joshua Cassidy, defending champion William Brashinen, and then
I thought you were an expert.
See, I'm not an expert. I have to read my own writing, which is a bit difficult right here. But the one thing, though, the defending champion for the women's racers, Jenna Festmeyer, last year, is not competing. So this is open for a new winner this year. But the rest of them, the men's racers, the defending champion, will be racing this year as well.
Beautiful. And again, that's just minutes away. You know, the flags here, they're ready to start. It's 7:42 now. 7:45 is when this race starts. We've been seeing everyone line up and kind of make their way to the start line. And it is just, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. How do you describe it? What's the word you would use to describe, you know, they've put all this time, they've put all this training in, and now they're here, and it is race day at the best 15K in the country, Boilermaker wheelchair race. Like, what is it like here?
I think dedication is the best word. All the folks, both volunteers, the runners, the community gets together. I know the Boilermaker itself, they run charities. Yeah. In fact, the Boilermaker bid program, $600,000 local charities. This is a community thing, and I think dedication and community are the best words to describe it here.
Absolutely. It is not just a race here. The Boilermaker is an economic driver. It is, you know, commitment to the community. There are scholarships that are given out throughout the year. You know, like Eric was saying, the Boilermaker charity bid program raised $600,000 over the years. That's a lot of money, and it all goes right back into the community. People come in town to run the race, to watch the race. There's just so much that just is Utica and the surrounding area that is the Boilermaker.
And on top of that, too, the best 15K in the country doesn't get the name out of nowhere. People from all over the country, all over the world, come to race in this. And this is something, again, that is not just binding Utica together, but the entire country, the entire world together we're
going to step out of the way here because they're getting ready to start. And what we really want you to see here is not us. We want you to see the start of this Boilermaker Wheelchair Race. They are ready to go. And again, Eric, who do we have that's, you know, first? Who are we watching?
So
I mean, we're
watching
watching everyone, but who are we watching closely?
So Herman Garrick is he won in 2021, and as you can see here, we have our favorite for the women's, Hoda El-Shabaji, Joshua Cassidy, who was the favorite this year, and as well as that, William Brosnan, who's the defending champion for the men. So those are all the folks we're watching right now, and again, the start is taking place, and I believe, I don't have the exact time.
It's 7:44, so 1 minute away.
So we're taking a look right there.
I want to watch it. I want to watch it.
33 computers right now.
And there it is.
And they're off. And just how fast some of these people are.
Yep. And then the fans cheering them on as they make their way, not just here at the start line, but all throughout the course. I mean, that is something that is, you can't compare it to anything. The fans and the spectators at the Boilermaker Road Race that come out year after year to watch this and to cheer these guys and gals on, it's wonderful.
15 kilometers and 9.3 miles of fans that cheer on all these hardworking individuals, both not only the wheelchair division, but coming up the 15K, as the runners are just starting to line up right now. The start time for that.
8 o'clock?
8 o'clock start time. So again, we have about 15 or so minutes, or just under 15 minutes, till the 15K runners get set.
And it really is filling in right now. You know, like they've been making their way through the side streets to get lined up at the start line, and they are here and they are ready to go. So when you see that right now, it's kind of they're trickling in, Eric, but they will be full, like, you know, shoulder to
Absolutely
shoulder,
packed, yes.
packed in there like sardines, and then they take off, and it's just a beautiful thing to see them all go.
Now, I was an expert with the wheelchair racers, but for now, I'm not an expert with the 15K runners. So with that in mind, I'm going to send it right back to the experts, also down the line in the race.
All right, I wouldn't call myself much of an expert, but I'll take it, Eric. Thank you very much down here at the intersection of Welsh Bush and Culver Avenue. Just waiting for those wheelchair racers to make their way up over the hill. We're at the 1 mile mark. You can see behind me that hill. Folks watching on. Usually within the next few seconds, we're going to start seeing those Utica police motorcycles, those flashing lights. That's what we're looking for. As those wheelchair racers make their way over. This being my second Boilermaker, we're actually back to normal. Last year we were a block up, Albany and Culver, and this year the mile marker sign moved back. Actually, I believe last year it was right here in front of me. There's a small patch of dirt, of course, with the construction on Champlain Ave. They had to re-mark the course, recertify it. Now it's back to normal. They had to do all that over again, as we are back to status quo. Seeing the first Utica police motorcycle coming up over the hill a few blocks away from me. We're going to take a look at that. Thomas Tallarino on camera for me. And there they are, the first of the wheelchair racers just approaching mile marker number 1 here in Utica for the 2024 Boilermaker. And I cannot tell who's in the lead. I don't have my numbers in front of me, but it's quite a gap between the leader and second place. So I take out my stopwatch here. Just want to try and estimate that gap. As that first wheelchair racer making their way by mile 1. Just over 3 minutes into Boilermaker 2024, the wheelchair portion of it. And that's about a 5-second gap between the leader and the second place runner. We're also watching for Face Wallace, the 2024 Citroen Wheelchair Challenger, or the Wheelchair Challenger, that is, for this year's Boilermaker. As they continue to roll by, we are now about 10 or so minutes away from the start of the 15K. And of course, coming down a hill, they're able to roll. You'll see a lot of them still pushing forward, but coming down the hill here on Culver Ave. This is kind of the first big hill they have to go up against. It's coming down this one, going up and down. They continue to make their way up Culver Avenue, but for now, we're going to send it back to the finish line. Kristen, Steve, take it away.
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. We're back down here at the finish line where the 5K competitors are coming across hot and heavy. We saw Nikki Todd cross, saw my friend George Saber cross from Utica. A couple people named Mike from New Hartford gave me a shout out, so I'm going to give them a shout out back. Very special story here also at the finish line. Just had someone come up to me. There was a young woman named Gina Almas who was supposed to run the 5K, but unfortunately passed away earlier this month. So her aunt ran in her memory, and so she wanted us to mention that. So we're happy to do that again. Our prayers are with that family and her aunt. Congratulations on competing this race. There's Jimmy Reed from Frankfurt. Jimmy and I used to run track together. Jimmy's in good shape. I am not. Jill Reel just crossed a few seconds ago. Christine Moylan from our sales department just crossed about 36:15, we'll give her. So a lot of folks coming across now. Again, this is the 5K. You're not going to hear from Kristen for a minute. She's out there making sure to see if her daughter's doing okay in her first 15K. So we'll take it from here. But you don't need to see me. You just want to see the folks coming across the finish line, which I understand completely. And again, you're seeing a lot of these folks come across. And in the big picture, we are 9 minutes away from the starting of the 15K. And so we're going to take a real quick break right now. When we come back, you will have the start of the 15K road race here on News Channel 2. And welcome back to Boilermaker 2024 here on News Channel 2. Steve McMurray along with Kristen Copeland down at the finish line. Kristen is eagerly awaiting her daughter Summer to finish her first 5K. Lots of folks coming across right now. We saw Steve Turnbull from New Hartford. Saw a lot of other folks coming across that are giving us the thumbs up. So they are pumped. They are happy. They are elated, actually, that their Boilermaker run part is done, and now it's time to hit the post-race party before the 15K folks even start. It's a lot of smiles here. I'm keeping an eye on the medical tent. So far, so good. Everything seems to be relatively quiet over there, which is what we want. So that is a very, very good thing. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to head to the starting line now because we are just a few minutes away from the start of the 15K, about 5 minutes away. So Jason Paulus, that's who he is. Welcome, Jason. And Nate Getman, our race callers. We're going to head to them at the starting line right now. Good morning again, fellas.
Good morning, Steve. We need to get him some more caffeine for this morning. Jason Paulus with you, Nate Getman. We are on the truck and a couple of, I would say about 50 yards away from the start line as you are watching at home. Nate, we're all lined up. Why don't we throw some names and numbers at people so if they're watching at home and they get a nice tight shot, they know who they're looking at. Number 1 is the defending champion, as in Jamal Yemmer. What's he wearing today? You got a nice good look.
He has gray shorts and the A6 singlet, which is black and orange, and some of his teammates for A6, number 2 and number 3, John Career and Bomfasa Kibuwat. Another person to look out for is number 4, Wesley Kiptu. He's in the lighter blue Adidas top.
if memory serves me correctly, they usually start off within the first mile to 2 miles in usually a pack of, let's say, 10 or 15 runners early on, and the weather indicates it's starting to get a little humid. That probably won't affect them in the first couple of miles, right?
I don't think so. I don't think the elite runners will be as affected as much. They train in this, so they're used to the heat and humidity, so I don't think that'll be as huge a factor. I think it will affect their time probably, but they will remain as competitive.
And real quick, if you're just tuning in, let's talk a little bit about the women's side of this as well. The defending champion is back. But again, as you mentioned earlier, and if you're just tuning in, she may not be the woman to beat. And that might be interesting today.
Yeah, I would like to see what happens between her and Immaculate Achol from Kenya. And Carolyn Rotich is a great Masters runner. She's done really well here. She won in 2016. She may figure in there. I don't think she'll be necessarily at the top 2, but she will be, I think, in the top 5 or so.
And the defending champion, Jessica Chelangat from Kenya, is also the course record holder, as is Jamel Yimmer from Ethiopia, the course record holder. And we mentioned earlier, we don't think we're going to see any course records today, but hey, we didn't think we'd see one last year, so you never know. But that would be lightning fast. And while both the defending champions this year are running well in the world and in the circuit, they're not running that well. Their times aren't anywhere near that. As we are about 2 minutes away now, coming up on 2 minutes away from the start gun here at the 2024 Boilermaker Road Race. So your thoughts on what the strategy is coming out in this first mile. That's key.
Yeah, I think you want to stay at least in the mix, but usually if you see someone taking out the first mile very quickly, they're not likely going to be the winner there. That's usually someone who's going to set the pace. You will probably see kind of a conservative pace for the first mile or two. The field will kind of get a feel for each other, and then when we get into the golf course, that's when it gets interesting.
We are 1 minute and about 30 seconds away now from starting the best 15K in the country. Our veteran photojournalist, Kirk Tupai, is on the back of the motorcycle. He'll have those tight shots of the runners as we go through the course, and then we will break off just before the finish line, where Stephen Kristen will take over and bring home the 2024 Boilermaker champion. Coming up on a minute away now from the start of the race. We've got Trusty Mike on the lower camera, and we've got Keith Hunt, veteran photojournalist, up on the scaffolding to get you your shots down here at the start line. And of course, we told you about Kirk. Nate and I will do the call of the race as we start to move the truck moving along here. We have to get ahead of the game so we don't cause a problem for those runners. And I'll tell you, Nate, it's the sight that you can see, it just boggles your mind when you see how many people are in this race. Over 10,000 runners stretch across the bridge and down around.
Yeah, I think Kirk has the best view of any of us, but
Yeah.
we have a second best. This is really an amazing sight. I've enjoyed being up on this truck.
I don't
More
think I
than
would
any
call the
different-
race any differently. Would you? I mean, this is the best place to do it.
This is a lot of fun. This is, I would say, for me, more fun than running it.
We are 15 seconds away from the start of the 2024 Boilermaker Road Race. Hope you got your popcorn, your coffee, your donuts, your cereal. Sit down, watch, and enjoy. This is the Elite Runners Pack getting ready to go. And the Boilermaker Road Race is underway here, and we are zipping along. What a sight to see. Here we go. A sea of people. Just exciting. As the 2024 Boilermaker Road Race gets underway. This year, Nate, there is 45 bands, live music, bands, DJs along the course, the most music they've had ever on the Boilermaker Road Race course.
And you want to think that this wouldn't impact the, but it really does. There's something very unique about this race. I mean, we had a helicopter fly over, and these runners have traveled all over the world. There's just something very neat about Utica and the entertainment that's on the course. We hear that from runners from all over the world about how different it is to run in Utica.
Oh, it's a unique experience. They say it all the time. And here's more music as we're coming up on the Culver Avenue Plaza.
And these runners are obviously here to compete for the money. They're professionals, so that's how they make their living. But it does help to come here somewhere like Utica and enjoy yourself.
All right. Well, and we're looking at the lead pack here for us, and looks like right now
Wesley Kiptoo is in the lead. You see Jamal Yimmer just off to his right from our view.
Yep.
Number 1 singlet with the orange and black and gray shorts. Tucked behind Kiptoo is Bonfasa Kibiwat from Kenya.
So far, you've got about 4, well, there's a pack of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I'd say 12 runners staying together right now, which is about what we would say. And like you said, it's 4, 3, 1. And those are the ones that you just mentioned.
I'm still looking for Bias Mbasu, who I expect to figure into the mix today.
From where we are, they're a distance away, but I can pick out, 4, 3, and 1, 1, 2, 3, if you will.
And those numbers they're not a prediction, but they're an indication that what the race directors think about where they will finish.
Well, and now, right now, in this race, this is typical of the way Jamal Yimmer runs. He lets people go out ahead, he stays in their sights, and then probably about, I think you said about maybe 7 to 8 mile, between the 7 and 8 mile marker is when he starts to make his move.
Yeah, and maybe they will try to cut his legs out a little, take a little of that that kick out from him to try to push the pace a little early. When we reach the mile mark, we'll know whether they're going out conservative. They do look like they're running a little quicker than usual because that pack is a little thinner than it usually is.
Right.
Still about a dozen runners, but sometimes at the mile mark we still see 20 or so runners.
We are coming up on the mile mark here in just about 30 seconds as we make our way down Culver Avenue now. Just getting ready to pass the Marlaud and the new Stewarts that's here. On our right is the Proctor Park, the fields here they've done over. And again, Wesley Kiptoo in the lead by a half a stride over Bonfasa Kibiwat. And you see those two running stride for stride and a little small separation with the next pack.
Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive move this early on.
And like you said, that could be a move to try and throw Jamal Yimmer off his game.
See Peter Najeru in the mix there as well.
Just passing the mile marker 1.
4:19.
4:19.
That is blistering fast. So they definitely went out very aggressively.
Yes, but if you notice, oh, look at this. We just had a lead change. I'm looking for the number. Is that 16?
That's Edmund Kipketich from Kenya as well.
All right. These guys all know each other too. It's not like they're coming into this cold and don't know what all of the others running tactics are.
Yeah, that's how we are able to kind of get a sense of how they're going to do here, because they do race against each other a bit. Particularly in Boston, Peachtree, and Houston Marathon has now become a very good measure of how the runners will do here. With that very close Houston half marathon this past January, where several of these runners were within seconds of each other.
So the pack is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's about 10 to 12. Just doing quick math. As Steve said, I didn't know there would be math. He's right. We have math here in the lead pack. So right now, as we're watching this pack, still led by Wesley Kiptoo, but they're all narrowed and keeping close. Lots of great music along the way. You don't go more than a block before the next music comes. So it's really kind of cool how this is, the Boilermakers really stepped up their game in providing sounds. And that's one thing we talked about with some of the first-time runners, and we did that during our all-access show. Take your earbuds out. Enjoy this race. If you've trained with earbuds, I get that, but there's enough music and enough going on that you really should embrace what you're seeing.
Yeah, you soak in the atmosphere and they listen to the crowds. And
Were you a headphones runner? You don't run as much as you used to.
No, those weren't as prominent when I was running.
We're not dating ourselves too much here. All right, you got to share with me what you said earlier about you. I said, do you miss running? And you said, no, I miss being fast.
Yeah, I know I can't do what I used to do.
What was your best Boilermaker?
49:43.
Wow. I mean, for those at home that maybe you don't understand, that's a fast Boilermaker. Anything under 50 minutes, if you're not one of these guys, is really impressive. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I probably covered you. When did you run that? What year?
Dating myself again, but that was 1999.
Oh, yeah, I covered that year. Okay, so now I'm old. All right.
The last millennium.
Yep.
What I'm going to be looking for right now, too, is just like there's a lot of entertainment, there's also a lot of water stops.
Yeah.
Great many volunteers on the course.
Haven't seen anyone take water yet.
Now, they will. That will be a good indication of what they're feeling right now. I mean, of course, you want to hydrate.
Right.
The elite runners will take less runner than the rest of the runners.
Right.
But we will see what they do. I don't see a lot of looking around. That this is surprisingly, even though this is a very fast pace, they look comfortable.
Yeah, they do right now, and that's the interesting part. Gotta love the bands.
And I always have my favorites. But
the international bands.
Yes, I always have my favorites, but there aren't. Nobody in this lead pack would be a huge upset. It would be a surprise, maybe, but not a huge upset. These are world-class runners.
Absolutely.
Yimmer just happens to be higher ranked than the other runners in the field. We have a few others that are ranked in the top 100 in the world. In the women's side, we have one who happens to be as high as number 4 right now in the world.
We just passed one of the wheelchair racers, Face Williams, who is he ran here before, developed MS, and is now racing in his wheelchair. And if he can get, he's the challenger. If he can get this done in 2 hours and 15 minutes, he'll win a racing wheelchair, be presented with a racing wheelchair from Citroen. Unbelievable story. What a great guy. We talked to him on Thursday, I should say. And just a joy to talk to. And he's battling through MS. And he can still walk, but he can't run anymore. So he's going for this. Now we're in the shaded part of the parkway now. You might see some changes in the lead as we're about to hit mile 2, and the time 9:03.
That means that they went through that last mile in about 4:40, high 4:40, so they slowed it down just a bit.
Yep. Getting a little bit more down to normal times, not blistering. Coming up on another band. I love this. This is so much fun.
And you were talking about the Citroen program, which is a great program. And anybody who's we've had Jason Robinson come into our camp and show our athletes what it is to use one of the wheelchairs. And it's very difficult to go in a traditional wheelchair on this course, especially the number of hills. So what a great advantage and what a great program for Citroen to give those racing chairs that are significantly lighter.
Oh, yeah. Those are worth $5,000. And to be able to give those away and really make that athlete feel not only like they belong, but that they are special and that they have done everything they can to compete and race with the best in the world. And that's the important part.
Yeah, and Citroen and the J-Rob Foundation are both doing great things in this area for athletes of differing abilities and making adaptive equipment available to everybody.
All right, so we still have a pack of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 now. And they're all going stride for stride. There's nobody really out in front, although that could be 16. We're quite a ways away now. Got your binoculars?
Kip Kadich, number 16, is in that mix, off to the left.
Okay.
Still 1, 2, 3, 4 are in the mix. It makes it a little easier for us.
Yes. On your far right, if right now you are watching the bike cam held by award-winning photojournalist Kirk Tupai, on the far right is your defending champion Jamal Yimmer in the number 1 bib. What do you see?
I see Bias and Bassa now, my favorite.
Yep.
He's just off of Jamal Yimmer's shoulder, tucked back. He's wearing an Under Armour singlet.
What number?
Number 13.
13,
It's
okay,
hard
that's
to
what I
see.
thought. Yep.
You can see just beyond Jamal Yimmer's shoulder.
Okay. We've been warned by our spotters that we're about to make a hard left, which means, guess what's coming, Nate? Valley View.
Yes, that is where we will likely see significant separation here. If we don't, then we have a very interesting race.
Oh, yeah. Especially, and then you make the turn on the golf course, and that separates the men from the champions.
And just to give you an idea how good Jamal Yimmer is, he broke the Ethiopian record in the half marathon.
Ooh, sorry.
Ran 58:33 a few years ago.
Wow.
And he's had a good year. Won Houston, like I said, in a very close race in 1 hour and 42 seconds. Won the Seoul Marathon in 2 hours and 6 minutes. And he's won here 2 years in a row. Could be the first male to three-peat.
Hang on, turning left here. Here we go. Okay, now we get a good look at everybody. 16, 6, 3, 1, 4, and 24.
6 is Ali Abdelmana.
Yep. He is in that pack as well.
He was 7th in a close Boston, but he was off. There were several runners who were very within seconds of each other, but he finished a little ways back, was still 7th, still top 10 at Boston.
So we're approaching the 3-mile marker, and the last group have just crossed the start line. That's how long this race is. Almost 3 miles of runners. How amazing is that? That is so cool. We're approaching the 3-mile marker right now. We're going to get a split time for you, but the last person to cross the start line just crossed.
Good indication that the Boilermaker numbers are getting back to where they were pre-COVID.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign.
Absolutely. Well, a little over 10,000 signed up. We'll see how many came. 13:41, 3 miles.
Okay, so 13:41 puts them off course record pace, but as we've seen in years past,
4:45.
they usually will make up a lot of time. The fastest mile is going to be coming out of the golf course onto the parkway.
Right.
And then they'll start to see the pace quicken a little, and then coming down Burstone.
We're standing next to our esteemed colleague Ben Burnell from the Rome Sentinel, and I have to say he is the math man. That was a 4:45 mile. Watch out for the bumps there, guys. There we go.
Okay, so they're going through the 5K mark at 14:35 or so, which equates to over a 43-minute 15K.
So
they are
well off
the pace. But just like last year, they were about that pace last year at about this time, and then they really blistered the last several miles.
Absolutely. Just a beautiful sight here. The sun is out, beautiful. You're looking out over the reservoir here off to the side of Valley View. Valley View Golf Course to, if you're watching the bike right now, it would be off to the left. And as we are getting ready to turn into the golf course, and this is one of my favorite, first of all, one of my favorite sites, but one of the hardest to hit. We have a wheelchair winner coming up soon. And so when we do that, we're going to send back to Steve at the finish line so he can call that for us, and we'll get back to this race. But a wheelchair champion will be crowned moments from now. So when that happens, we'll have Steve take over as we make the turn into Valley View Golf Course.
The irony of the elite race right now is that they have been shaded a lot. They've had the benefit of shade, and they probably need it less than the thousands of runners that are behind them. So if the if the shade shifts at all and there's more exposure to the sun, that's going to be more interesting.
A couple of runners took water.
My favorite, Bias and Bassa, just took water. He just dumped it on his head, so he's just feeling the heat.
He's a little warm, yeah. I do believe Jamal Yimmer also took water. Wesley Kiptoo did not take water in that stop. So interesting to see. And as we can see, that pack is kind of filtering down. I think we're about 8 now. 8 or 9.
And it's been about the same 8 or 9. I mean, there was that pack of 12. You see a few dropping off the back, but that lead pack has stayed pretty steady.
We're coming up here on some wheelchair racers as we make our way up the golf course. So we're pulling over, slowing down a little bit so we can get around them. Oh no, we gotta move over.
Sing it. What's up, India?
Yeah, got some music. Roscoe Red hanging out.
Strong move there by Kibawa up the hill.
Yeah. Interesting how the runners are getting around the wheelchair racers as they come up the hill, not even breaking a stride. But Kiptoo has now gone back. Who's in the lead there? It looks like Bonfassa, isn't it?
Yeah, Bonfassa Kibawa is in the lead there. We have Career and Yimmer still leading the pack.
Big change on that curve right there. Don't know if it's because we were slowing down or what, but they made a big change, and now they're separating themselves. It's the 3.
And I don't know if they're actually teammates. They do wear the same singlet, but they're all sponsored by ASICS. I don't know if they're actually teammates, but they are at least running together now. And this is exactly playing into Yimmer's hands, because now they are separating themselves from that back pack, and it's now a pack of 3. Still too early to say that the 4 through 8 runners are out of this race, but they have to maintain contact, because when you come out of this golf course, if you are not within striking range, you may be out of the race.
Okay, we want to get back to the finish line. Steve McMurray with the wheelchair champion. Go, Steve.
All right, Jason, thank you so much. We're hearing the sirens. Here we go. Defending champion
Josh Cassidy.
Josh Cassidy. This will be his 4th Boilermaker win at 34:04.
34:04.
Beating last year's time. Last year, 41:38.
Nice.
From Ontario, Canada.
Wow. He was certainly flying. Look at the distance between first and second. Unbelievable. Boy, he was absolutely flying today. And again, the heat and the humidity especially is picking up this morning, but he was able to get out ahead of it, I guess. But certainly a fantastic finish on a fantastic race. I guess more of a fantastic race than a fantastic finish, because nobody else is near him. Want to give a shout out. You didn't hear Kristen for a while, but she's back. She was playing the role. She was being a mom, which is more important than sitting next to me, certainly. And Summer Walsh did finish A-OK.
Doing
with
well.
Friend Maddie. Want to give them a shout out. Just got a thumbs up from Mark Donovan, the executive director of the Boilermaker. He's excited. He should be. It's a good day so far. Who else did we see come across? Luke Christie come across, a whole bunch of people. And we're going to try and get Josh Cassidy for an interview. I don't think we have a camera. Kristen's going to mic up here momentarily. Abby, I'm just calling the shots from the fly. Sorry about that, but she's down here at the finish line. And the next wheelchair competitor is coming into your view shortly. And we'll see who that is as the updated list makes its way to us. And that's going to be Herman Garrick, Utica's own Herman Garrick, coming across the line. He is an inspiration to us all here. And we are pulling for him, and he did a fantastic job. Man, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Just real quick, we do have the wheelchair finisher. All right, we're going to go to there in a second. Let's go to Jason and Nate out on the course. It looks like a lead change again. Fellas, take it away. And we'll check back in with Nate and Jason again shortly. As you see, I'm trying to figure out where that is. I think that's along the Parkway. As you see our motorcycle coverage there, brought to you by our friends at Pacemaker. Kirk Tupai on the call right there. And more wheelchair finisher coming across right now. And we're going to try and get a hold of Nate and Jason again. They are in the lead truck there, which is, as I said, going along the Parkway now. Very tight race right now. You see 4 competitors that could win this, but they're not quite to the halfway point. So this is going to change several times by the time this is all said and done. And again, if you're just joining us, this is Boilermaker 2024 here on News Channel 2. Josh Cassidy was your winner of the 15K wheelchair division. He was the 4-time defending champ, so now he will be the 5-time defending champ. Herman Garrick won in 2021. He's from Utica. He finished 2nd today, so been a great race for them so far. You see them going by the Parkway Center, so again, that is mile, I want to say 5 they're coming up on, so they are right about the halfway point.
Also, some of our favorites, of Kenya, could be in the mix. He finished 5th.
So right now, you have 1, 2, and 3 in the men's division. And 1, 2, 3, and 4. Boy, I guess they knew what they were doing with. And in the inset there, you see the lead runners, bibs 1, 2, 3, and 4, as we mentioned. And then in the larger picture, the folks coming across by Welsh Bush and Culver Ave. So, looks to me as if our competitors are Jamal Yamir, John Career, Boniface Hibawat, and Wesley Kiptu, right in a row. Jamal Yamir is from Ethiopia, and the other 3 gentlemen I mentioned are from Kenya. So now they are getting into a stride. They're going up not Valley View. They are, that looks like Genesee Street. And then you see the back of the pack runners on Welsh Bush and Culver. And Ben Kinney was there earlier along with Thomas Talarino. We're going to send them to another location shortly. Now you see the lead pack going by the McDonald's on Genesee Street in the old Panorama. That's where that course takes a quick left and then a right and then a right and then another left. They did that. Once the field became so big, they had to move the starting line, which means they had to adjust the course to make 15K. So that's where you have that jut in there. Remember last year, of course, there was construction on the course. There was another detour. We're back to the traditional course this year. So right now they're heading on to Shepherd Place. And in the lead is John Career, but right on his heels is Jamal Yamir. We're trying to reconnect with Jason and Nate. And now they have a quick turn. They get onto Shepherd Place. And now they turn onto Sunset Ave for a few seconds. They're going to go by the entrance to Murnane Field, and then they'll take their left onto Burstone. And this is at some points where they will separate, because as we mentioned for the 5K, it is an incline. You don't necessarily notice it when you're driving, but you certainly do when you're running.
You know, shout out to Kirk Chupai riding this motorcycle.
Yeah.
I guess we talked about where are some spots on the course that need spectators. This is going to be one of them.
Yeah. And the interesting part about it, that was part of the original Boilermaker course, was running right along there past the Bagel Grove and in that area, you know, Faxton Hospital, for some reference for you. There's a shot of Burstone Road, as we were mentioning. Here comes the police escort for the lead pack. Tom Guise is on our camera out there. We'll hear from Spencer and Luke shortly, as well as the main crux of the crew comes that way.
And soon we'll get to see Jason.
Yeah.
There he comes.
And there you see a little bit of mirror image. You see the top two competitors, Jamal Yamir, John Career, in both screens right now. Boy, it's just effortless. Spectators will always tell you, the elite runners, it's unbelievable to behold in person. They just glide. They run so fast, and it looks effortless. Trust me, it's not effortless. But
well, speaking of effortless, we have Spencer and Luke up here on Burstone Road right now.
All right, guys, as you're seeing, the lead pack just crossing the 5K start line here on Burstone Road. And as you were able to see, John Career and Jamal Yamir, last year's champion, actually the two-time defending champion, neck and neck right now in the lead pack. We're also still seeing some wheelchair racers coming across the 5K line. We just saw local racer Jimmy Joseph stroll on by here, and the streets are starting to be lined up with some more people right now, and they're on a really good pace in this. Luke, what have you kind of seen so far? Now that we've seen the lead pack go by, what are you kind of thinking?
Yeah, I think the other folks were saying it a little earlier on, but this 5K start position here on Burstone Road, there's that slight incline, and as someone who used to run cross country, I always preferred like a straight uphill as opposed to a slight incline, because it stretches out over a very long period of time. It gets really tiring on your legs, so to see those folks really still kicking it at this point at the 6 mile mark is really, really impressive.
Yeah, now the lead pack more than halfway through this 47th 15K Boilermaker Road Race, and it is a slight incline here. It's hot, it's humid out, so the conditions, there's not really too much of a breeze. It started to pick up here over the last few minutes, but really, you know, it's got to be tough conditions for these runners. As Luke just said, you know, you kind of had a little bit of a reprieve after getting off Valley View and that really tough stretch there. But then here we go again with that slight incline down Burstone Road. Really a bit of a more than a mile stretch where you have a slight incline before the racers turn off at Champlain Ave over by Utica University. So it really is impressive to see the pace that they're still at right now, especially after having the last 2 years having the records being broken in the 15K for both the men's and the women's open divisions. So definitely a really impressive race so far, and it looks like it's a two-man race at this point between John Career and Jamal Yimmer. Luke, it's one of the things about this spot that we're at right now. The scenery is absolutely incredible. I feel like we're kind of right in the middle. You got Murnane Field in the background as the backdrop here. You've got the incline here as you're looking up Burstone Road as racers go by. You have the really cool lineup of fire departments and the fire trucks with American flags lining the street here on Burstone Road. You have the New Hartford Fire Department, New York Mills Fire Department, Whitesboro Fire Department. I mean, for your first time, not a bad spot to be, huh?
Not bad at all. It's really nice. It's kind of, it makes a great tourism ad for Utica, right? For all these people visiting in from out of town. It's also just a really great community experience. I think one of the things that people have talked about setting this race apart are the spectators, the folks out here. So if you're not out here yet, you still got time to do it. Folks are still crossing the 6 mile mark, and we're looking at these elite runners right now, but the rest of the pack is still a little ways back. So if you want to come out and cheer these folks on, do it. And then the other big aspect that we've been talking about are those entertainers, all that live music. I know, again, that really motivates you and gets you moving, gets your adrenaline pumping to get across that finish line. Those elite runners, they know what they're doing, but for some of the folks that are a little newer to the running and are doing it for fun as part of the community, having that music, having those spectators along the way really helps them get through the race.
Yeah, and you know what? The music and the atmosphere here, it's enjoyable for us, too. We've been listening to Big Papa playing all the hits for the last hour or so, and he's played a bunch of really good songs, some unique songs, too, some hip-hop, country mashups almost. It's been really interesting.
But like the things I consider throwbacks, Spencer, you probably don't. Like it's a little different.
Settle down.
It's a little different.
I'm not that much older than you.
Not that much.
I'm not. You know, I mean, it's there's a few years in between us, but again, it's kind of weird because here I find myself. It wasn't too long ago when I was the newcomer, and so it's pretty cool to have you here, Luke, and experiencing this for the first time, as you mentioned too. The elite runners now starting to get more of the thick elite runner pack coming through here. We're still a little bit away from having the main pack. You're starting to see actually just beyond the 5K start line, you're starting to see a little bit bigger pack. I think there's some women's runners there as well. But we're still a few minutes away from really seeing the kind of thick stream of runners here that really spans for miles and miles down the roads of Utica here.
Well, it was wild. They were talking about how we were about like 10 to 12 minutes into the race after the start had begun, and that was the end of the starting pack. So everybody's at a different time in their race, and again, the clock starts for them once they cross the starting line, not what you're seeing on TV right now of how they're running. So these folks are doing a really impressive job out here in some pretty warm, sunny weather today.
For sure. All right, we're starting to see the lead pack of the women's open racers crossing the 5K start line right now, but we're going to send it back down to the finish line where Kristen and Steve are standing by. Guys, take it away.
Spencer, Luke, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're still trying to reinstate or reconnect Jason and Nate, but looks like a two-man race. If you look in the bottom of your screen, the right-hand corner, as we said, Jamal Yamir, John Career. Jamal Yamir, of course, is the course record holder. The fastest 15K finish is a different course last year. So 42.06, it is a record, but again, that asterisk because it is a different course than it was last year.
You know, talking to some of these Boilermaker officials, half of them are telling me, well, I think the course change may have made a difference in this. Half say, nope, still the same distance. You're still going uphill, you're still going downhill, you're still making the turn. I don't know. It's I guess depends on the runner and what they're comfortable with too, because it's more turns, but it's less of an incline.
Sure. And I think the turns have to be difficult because you got to pace yourself, and they're gliding when you're running that fast. You just, how sharp do you make the turn? I mean, I know it sounds crazy over 15K, 9.3 miles. That any type of aerodynamic. Now it looks like are they talking to each other, yelling at each other? What's going on?
Well, this is last year's matchup here.
Yeah, back and forth. So now, is that Champlain Ave yet? Or is that still Burstone Road? Okay, that's Champlain Ave, just going by the Elks Lodge, 1433.
And no water. Well, we do take water.
Stop for water. Okay, so now, again, this is going to be some give and take and some nip and tuck here, which is not unheard of But boy, when they come to a dead sprint at the finish, you're going to wonder about when do you take water, when do you not take water, how much do you have left in the tank? See, it's closer again. Now they're closing the gap.
Do we have to wear the same outfits? This is throwing me off.
But again, it is Yamir and Career. Jamal Yamir is the fastest time. We're going to call him the record holder. He's from Ethiopia, and John Career is from Kenya. They are both 27 years old, and this was the same race last year, as you mentioned, Kristen, neck and neck, side by side, and they will come to...
Look at the stride.
Yeah, they're flying, just absolutely flying.
They're in uniform. They're in sync.
It is. It's crazy. Now, again, I don't know if we'll see a record today. 42:06 is the record. The time up in the left-hand portion of your screen, thanks to our friends at Click On Supplies, is at 36:25. Actually, I'm a little bit slower, so it's just over 36 minutes. So we will have to see if they maintain that pace, because now they're feeling good and they are going downhill. And the interesting part for these two, they are Boilermaker veterans, so they know this course very well. I think if you're a first-time Boilermaker runner, especially in this competitive level, you may not realize how fast, or how flat, I should say, how flat Whitesboro Street is. And that when you make that turn, like they're making right now.
1 mile in, 1 mile to go.
Yeah, you think, boy, I'm home free, but boy, you have another mile. And then it actually goes up a little bit by the Mohawk Valley Psychiatric Center. And again, these guys have the strategy in their heads.
I don't know who the sneaker maker is, but clearly this is a good brand.
So isn't it, I mean, this is fascinating, right? So this is 9.3 miles is the total amount of your race, right? 15K. And they are stride for stride. And at some point, one of them is going to break away. And you may see an absolute dead sprint to the finish after 9 miles. So 0.3 of a mile. So the defending champion is on the right of your screen. That's Jamal Yamir. John Career from Kenya is on the left-hand side of your screen.
Okay, here we go. We have a breakaway here. I think it's John Career.
John Career just in front of him. But again, this isn't over. You've got a half mile to go, and it looks ever so slightly. Or is it, to go back to the old days of Muhammad Ali?
Depends on your perspective, too.
Yep.
Look at the camera.
Is he rope-a-dope him? Is he lulling him into sleep, and then is he going to hit the gas?
Kirk Tupai on this bike typically talks to the elites.
Yeah.
Whether they acknowledge him is a different story. But he'll say, on your left, on your right, he'll let them know we're half mile in to go.
So again, if you are just joining us, this is Boilermaker 2024. There is the race for the lead in the lower right-hand corner of your screen.
We're going to have a 2023 here.
That's right. Motorcycle coverage brought to you by our friends at Pacemaker Steel. Kirk Tupai on that bike. Now, the two top competitors,
I don't think we've ever been that close.
Jamal Yamir and John Career were actually talking with each other just about 2 minutes ago, perhaps playing off of each other. Again, these guys run competitive races like this all the time, all over the country, all over the world. And they're in Utica this morning, and they're putting on this show. Defending champion is on the right of your screen.
Number 1.
And John Career, number 2, on the left.
We're getting close.
Unbelievable. We're going to keep it here. You see on the left hand of your screen, the larger portion, you see the top local folks coming by Burstone Road.
If Jamal Yamir does this, it's 3 in a row.
Okay.
3 in a row.
And we can hear the sirens down here.
John Career is taking the lead.
That is right there by the Mohawk Valley Psych Center. Career ever so slightly. He's got about a 50-foot length, 50-foot gap, I should say. They're checking their watches, doing the math in their head. My God, I couldn't walk across the street and do the math in my head, but here they go. That is John Career. He is from Kenya. He was the second-place finisher last year.
Won in 2003 and 2004. No?
No, that's a different John Career. Yes.
Different John Career.
Yeah,
okay.
He's only 27.
Oh, yeah, good point. Related?
Not positive. But it looks like he is the man to beat right now. Last year's winner, Jamal Yamir from Ethiopia. And the record holder split back off a little bit off the pace. So they are coming around the corner here into the finish line, into our view. We can see the media truck just turning right now, turned onto Schuyler Street.
John
Career. Again, not going to break that record. 42.06 was the record. He will be close, but I don't think he's going to do it. We're at 42.03, 04, 05. Nope, not going to break the record, but still a fantastic race. And John Career is your 2024 Boilermaker champion.
That is close to a record, though. That is very, very close.
And the record holder coming in about 42.18. I didn't quite catch John Career's time, about 42.10.
That's going to be close, and especially since, like you said, you have the asterisk on last year. The year before, if we're looking at 2022, it was 42.38.
Oh, well, they blew that course, so it might be a course record. Again, it's going to depend on how they establish that and how they determine that.
Wesley Kiptoo in screen now. He's ranked number 51 in the world, the athlete you're seeing right here, Wesley Kiptoo from Kenya. And let's talk about that for a second. We have, my daughter running a race. We have, Bill Cardis running this race. Number 51 runner in the world just crossed the finish line. I think Jolene has said this in the past. This is the one sport where you can compete with the top athletes in the world.
And that was part of the design when they added the elite field.
Across the line, this is your top American finisher, First American winning that top American prize first.
Bias Mbasa from the USA. First American finisher here. Bib number 13.
On the short end, he has run a 2:10:34 marathon. Hailing from the U.S. Here in 2022. Looking at for our next pack of elite runners making their way.
And again, we wanted to thank Kurt Tupai, phenomenal job on the motorcycle cam. Jeff Christman, the driver this morning of that. I talk to Kirk every year about 2 weeks before. You're good for the motorcycle again, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to thank Jeff Christman for fantastic driving there of our motorcycle. Just great shots there. So again, if you're just joining us, this is the Boilermaker 15K here on News Channel 2. The larger portion of your screen is the finish line here at the FX Matt Brewery, Saranac Brewery. And on the right, the lower inset is the top local, maybe beginning middle of the pack at Burstone Road.
My daughter's first Boilermaker, but also her first time experiencing
down here
with our coverage of it.
Yeah. No, it's a fantastic day. Again, you know, we always talk about Boilermaker as a holiday. Well, if you want to plan picnics and parties, you want to do it on Boilermaker weekend.
Reunions, yeah.
On Sunday, at least. Because I know the weather is just fantastic. Another beautiful day today.
Jason is off the media truck and gearing up with his equipment here at the finish line. So we'll be checking in with him shortly.
Yep.
Although I think we have to wait for Kirk to get off the motorcycle first. The logistics
Right.
to put on the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, you know, we'll bring that up. Security, obviously, a major factor of what goes on here at the Boilermaker finish line. Several parts of the facility and the area down here cordoned off, so it's not as easy to get from point A to point B as it might be. So we're going to wait for Jason to get down here and get mic'd up, and then and we have folks on other parts of the course too. We checked in earlier with Ben Kinney and Thomas Tallarino. Ben had just texted me they're going to be on the Parkway now. They're trying to do some different vantage points this year. They're going to head down to the Parkway. I'm not sure what the status on that shot is, but we'll check in with them shortly. Burstone Road, we've had Spencer Davidson and Luke Radel out there. All right, so we do have the official times now from Lyon Timing. John Career was 42:11. Jamal Yamir was 42:19. So, again, to your point, Kristen, if the last time they ran this course, the time was 42:38, then that crushes the record. But we're going to have to see how they list it. Now, the media guide lists 42:06 as the record, even though it was a different course. So there's a 42:11 was the time this year. So 5 seconds off last year's pace. But again, you know, it's almost like the 61 home runs for Roger Maris. Chris, let's bring up the microphone here at the start line if we can. Jason's going to get on mic. You won't see him, but you'll hear him. Trust us, he is with us. We're going to talk to him a little bit about the race. Jay, you know, we picked it up right about Burstone Road, I think is where we lost you guys.
Well, first we saw him duck on Burstone Road.
Yeah, we saw you duck on Burstone.
We had to duck. We have to make sure that we don't duck.
But we lost Jason communication wise just at the start line of the 5K, the 6 mile mark of the 15K. But you know, watching this competition, it was a 2023 repeat in that, you know, we were neck and neck here. And John Career now saying, oh, we have the, I'm sorry, I'm going to pause for a minute while we watch the women's swimmer coming in.
All right.
Oh, it's a 3-person race, 3-woman race.
It's going to be a sprint to the finish. This is insane. 39, it is Bryson Gase. Nope, that's wrong.
39 and 33, so that would be...
Can we pull up Jason's microphone?
Grace Nawawuna, and 39
was Immaculate
Oxwell.
Now, she currently lives in Westchester, PA. That's actually where my sister lives. And she's from Kenya, though. That's her
a photo
citizenship.
finish. I'm not sure who won that. I'm gonna go find out. I'll be right back.
All right. You heard Phil Stewart in the background saying it is not clear who the champion is going to be.
This is incredible. This is incredible. Making Boilermaker history again.
That is insane. And like we said, after 15K, 9.3 miles, and we want to bring Nate in really quickly. Nate, we lost you halfway through the race. Give us your impressions of let's go to the men's side first, then we'll talk about what we just saw for the women's side. neck and neck last year like it was with those two, and then just that final separation, right about half mile, give or take.
Yeah, Career did exactly what he needed to do, which was to keep Yimmer from passing him at the end. So that separation at about mile 9 was crucial for him.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what we saw, what the viewers at home saw, right before they got to the Stewarts on Champlin and Whitesville there, excuse me, maybe a little bit up past where the Elks Lodge is. They were talking with each other. For Joe Public that doesn't understand, what are they doing? What are they talking about there?
I'm assuming that they are teammates, so that they're probably talking about. A lot of times they don't want to stay in the lead the whole time, so they will ask the other person to step ahead and
really?
kind of set the pace for a little bit, do the work.
Yeah, almost like in NASCAR drafting. I'm going to
Yes.
draft off you, you draft off me, but then we're going to sprint to the finish line and see who has the most.
Yeah,
Okay.
at what point is it not friendly anymore?
Right close to the finish.
Yeah.
Because the difference between this, I forget what the second prize, it was $7,000 and I think maybe $6,000 after the
Yeah.
Wow.
few $1,000 difference.
Now, when I ran
$1,000
against
difference.
Nate and his brother Chris, I would say, guys, go ahead of me. I'm going to work off you, but they never laid back. Jason, what do you got? Go ahead, Jason.
Grace Wawuna. She took that one. Now Wawuna.
All right.
From Kenya.
From Kenya. Now Wawuna, right?
But also
Yes.
living in Westchester, PA.
She's a great cross-country runner, so I had her as kind of an outside shop because, but she's a world-class cross-country runner. She just edged out Achel, I believe.
By like thousandths of a second. They were neck and neck the whole way. So it was 39, and then Immaculate Achel, who was your pick to win this.
Yeah, it was close enough. And a lot of these races do really come to, like Houston I mentioned was a matter of 5 places within 1 second. So that's as close as a women's finish as I have seen here.
Absolutely. We've never had one that close before. It's usually a second at the very least separating them, but that's, I would say, thousandths of a second because they were neck and neck. Another thing that we noticed as we were coming down, unfortunately not talking, we were on our way down the hill, and that move just before the 9-mile marker is when Career turned on the extra something to get past the defending champion Jamal Yimmer.
And that's the mark of a professional. They know what they're doing, and he had Yimmer's number today.
Absolutely. Well, guys, this has been an exciting day, especially on the women's side. We haven't seen one that close before.
We have not. And I want to ask you about being teammates. Do you have individual coaches, or are you a team coach? And do coaches come to the events?
It really depends. I mean, you see a lot more agents here than coaches, but a lot of the athletes do train together. They may have one coach that's assigned to a group. But yeah, it's a little different from the college and high school scene where it's not as many coaches. A lot of them are coached by themselves. They do have expert advice on nutrition and training, but yeah, that's actually, I was thinking about that this week, thinking to look into the coaching a little more. But I see a lot more agents here than coaches right now.
Well, I got in contact with Jessica Charles' coach, reached out, obviously local, so she will be here. But that's what I got thinking about. How does it work when you have multiple teammates in the same event?
And that's very hard when you run collegiately. Running is a really hard thing to stay focused on. So the coaching really do need some motivation.
Yeah.
Teammates help probably as much as anything.
Not an individual sport like many people would think.
Right. I mean, when you're coming down the finish, it becomes an individual sport. But out there, we saw a lot of cooperation, a lot of talking, and I don't know we were too far away to know what they were saying, but there was definitely some strategizing going on.
Right.
You know what was exciting about this particular year, I thought, even with the elite runners, what we noticed was the extra entertainment. We mentioned that several times the last week. 45 entertainment groups, whether it's bands or DJs or whatever, and you really couldn't go very far without hearing something to keep everybody excited and pushed along.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, these are professionals, so they'll run in any conditions regardless of whether there's entertainment or not, but that has to help. Any runner, any athlete, music is shown to be a great motivator, so I think that has to be good. And the crowds, especially when we get down to the last few miles, the crowds were great too, and the energy was great. They love watching the elite race.
And this year, I noticed, as we were coming down Champlin Avenue, that's where Career and Yimmer really separated themselves, especially once you got past that 7-mile marker, and it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, and that you kind of need to do that. And as I mentioned before, I think Yimmer has typically a better kick. He's shown it. And Career knows what happens here because it happened to him last year. So he learned his lesson.
I was going to say, how much of that is in the back of his mind? I remember I was on the, maybe he's thinking, I'm on the other end of this right now. Now is where I got to really turn it up.
And it's not the only race that's happened to. It's happened in other races as well, where they've been very close, separated by a second or so.
All right, guys, I mean, I know just an amazing day out there, but what you're going to see now, we could feel the temperature really rising as we went through the course, especially when you got out of the golf course. Didn't you feel the humidity tick up? Yeah,
and as I mentioned, the elite runners benefited from some shade. I'm not sure if that shade is still there, and these are the runners now that really need that shade, and I don't think they're really going to get it. They were very close to a record on the men's. I think they just missed it.
Yeah. What was the time?
42:11.
42:11, and the record is 42:06.
Just off. I didn't think there would be a record, but that's closer than I thought it would be to the record.
The year before, though, if we're not counting the change in the course, was 42:38. So that's still a big...
Yeah, still significantly faster than 2 years ago. So, yeah, compared to 2 years ago, that's a very fast time in these conditions. That's amazing.
And that was the barometer. You had said before we started this race, look for times closer to 2 years ago from the original course. And if last year didn't happen, this would have easily been a course record.
Yeah, they smashed it. The women's were a little slower today compared to last year and even the year before, but a very competitive race. That makes me think that it was a more strategic race. It looks like a pack of 3 or 4 of them were running really together all the way to the finish.
What you got for us?
Also, welcome to the finish line and a great finish there, Tricia Longo. We saw her coming.
All right, Jason and Nate, thank you. Thank you for that. We're going to keep you there really quickly, but what we're going to do right now is you see a shot of Burstone Road in the main part of your screen, the finish line here in the lower right of your screen. We're going to take a quick break for more of our coverage here on News Channel 2. This is Boilermaker 2024. We'll be right back.
Joining us for Boilermaker 2024. This is the 47th annual road race in the city of Utica, and we saw really a photo finish on the women's side.
Yeah, it was unbelievable, and it was
ended up being bib 33 Grace
Loibach Nawuna
of Kenya,
but currently living at in Westchester, PA.
Nawuna. All right. Ranked 7th in the world, looking at Nate's notes over here.
Wow, what a fantastic photo finich there. Again, after 15K, 9.3 miles, to have it that close.
Let's just drive home. This is a world-class event.
It is. And then you see images like that coming across your screen. It is a fantastic just event from top to bottom. With the wheelchair division, which we had a repeat winner in that, a blistering fast time in the from the men's, and then a photo finish for the women's. Just unbelievable. We're going to head out to the Parkway and see what's going on there. Ben Kinney and Tom Talarino are out there. They are by the Parkway Rec Center. So if they are ready, we can send it out to them. Gentlemen, good morning once again.
Hey, Steve, good morning. Once again, here we are, Parkway Rec Center. We're actually right across from the Rec Center, and it's hot out today. So that means this is a hot spot, the water station. And you remember me mentioning last year, I'm big into NASCAR. This is kind of like a pit stop. And the process for this, just watch this. This is a well-orchestrated, almost like a pit stop. Handing off, a quick handoff, some choosing to take a drink, some choosing to dump it over their heads, whichever you prefer, a great way to cool off. And as Nate mentioned earlier, this is one of the only spots you are going to get shade on this course. This is one of the final spots for that shade as well. And after that, it is almost pure sun. I can tell you, from when we started down at Culver Ave, the temperature has gone up, even in the shade, starting to feel the humidity a little bit. A lot of takers for that water. And I believe across the way we do have those electrolytes that were being talked about as well. They are also giving out just cups full of ice for people to pour on themselves to cool down, as just a few, I'd say probably quarter mile or so down from mile number 5. As they continue on up the road, we'll send it on up Burstone Road. That's where we find Spencer Davidson. Spencer?
All right, thanks a lot, Ben. Yeah, we're just down the road here at the 5K start, and we are now seeing really the thick of the runners here spanning all across the road. And this, as honestly, is one of my favorite parts of the entire event, when you just see the street completely lined with runners. The meat of most of the runners kind of in a pack. You know, when the race starts, as you heard earlier, it was about a 3-mile stretch from when the elite runners were on the course to when the last people were crossing the start line. I mean, I think now that it stretches out, you probably have about 5 miles or so between the elite runners and the end of the pack. So a lot of fun here. We just saw one of our go the distance runners crossing the 5K start. Luke, who else did you just see recently run by?
Well, we saw our chief meteorologist, Bill Cardis. We gave him a shout out in his News Channel 2 blue shirt. We saw the mayor of Utica, Mike Galimi, who's actually only the second mayor to run this race. He has the 1832 bib. There's Father Jason Hayes from Mary Mother of Our Savior Parish. I'll go say some confessions at the post-race party. We saw the mayor. He's got the 1832 bib. 1832 is the year that Utica was founded, and that's why he has that bib on. We've been seeing a lot of folks go by this, some folks that, friends, if you come out here, you see your friends in the race every couple of yards here. The one thing I'll say, and we don't have our chief meteorologist with us, but if he was here, he'd tell you it is pretty hot. It is very hot, and it is sunny, and there is not a lot of shade, particularly up here on this bridge. You are pretty exposed to the sun beating down on your face, and you can tell these folks are getting hot and are getting humid, and it's tough stuff. It's tough weather.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see it on some people's faces. I think they're at the point of the race where, again, at this point, they're more than halfway through. They're just about 2/3 through, to be exact. And again, they do have this tough uphill stretch coming up here for the next mile until they turn onto Champlain Ave, and the sun is just beating down on their backs right now here on this spot of Burstone Road. So certainly a challenge for these runners, but you know what? One of the things that carries these racers through are the people lining the streets cheering them on. We've gotten much bigger crowds here where we are by the 5K start over the last, I would say, 20 minutes or so. We have people holding signs, cheering on the people that they know and love. The runners themselves are waving. Some of them are trying to get the crowd pumped up. And you're seeing, I think I heard Ben mention about the electrolytes and the frozen popsicles that they're having people this year. I've seen a lot more than in years past.
I want some of those. What's your favorite popsicle flavor?
I'm a little jealous. I'm a big lime, like green, lime fan. But blue. No, I love sour. That's the thing.
I'm partial to blue raspberry, even though that's not a real fruit. It's just a fake fruit, but it tastes really good.
No, I agree with you. I'm a big blue raspberry guy as well. Honestly, I mean, pretty much all flavors, but I think either lime or orange, one of those two are probably my favorite. Lemon as well, but I don't think they really have any of those lemon popsicle, those lemon like freezer pops.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm always partial to orange as an SU student. Go orange all the time. The other thing we saw, the wheelchair challenger racer just passed over. The clock that we have here says it's about an hour into the race. He's got to finish in 2 hours, so he's 2/3 of the way through. He's looking like he's going to get that racing wheelchair, which is great.
Yeah, and that would be another great story. And we had the wheelchair racer from last year, William Broshnahan. He did complete it and earned himself a racing wheelchair. And that's an incredible part of this event as well. And honestly, Luke, we were talking about it off camera. I don't know how, first of all, how you can go through the race. Like my arms would be so tired. It's amazing what those wheelchair racers can do. And yet, even more so than that, when you're in just a regular wheelchair and you don't have the racing wheelchair, it's so impressive to be able to do that. I don't think I would be able to get through 9.3 miles just in a regular wheelchair. It's so impressive.
I wouldn't be able to get through 9.3 miles with my legs. Like that's why I'm standing on the side and talking about it. So no, it's very impressive to see everybody out here doing the best they can, and we're gonna toss it back.
Yep. Yeah, and so as we have the thick of the racers here crossing the 5K start line here on Burstone Road, we'll send it back down to the finish, Kristen and Steve.
Spencer, thank you. And when you talk about crossing the 5K start line. I don't know what's going through your mind as a 15K competitor when you reach that arch and you realize, okay, 5K to go.
5K to go. 2/3 of the way there. We're 2/3 of the way there. I saw, I didn't see, but my wife texted me that Kelly Grates went by, so she's good. She's at the went by just by that 5K start. She's running with her husband for the first time in a few years, and their son is running with them, their son Connor. So family affair. I don't know who's going to finish first. My guess would be Connor.
Now, you have to be careful because I spoke to some people at the expo on Friday, and the Harrods.
Yes.
And Bob Harrod said he's not running this year because you made him feel bad last year.
Because Mary beat him
because his wife, Mary Beth, came through. And then he came by, and you announced to everyone
that Mary
had crushed him by at least 30 minutes, and he said he felt bad, so bad he's not going to run this year. So you have to be careful what you say.
Well, first, that's not on me, Bob. That's not on me. But no, a lot of top-notch folks now coming by, and they're going to be on their way to the post-race party, taking that left onto Varick Street, and then they'll head behind the brewery.
Nate talked about how the elites were, given the opportunity to have shade because of their speed. But, our friends and neighbors who we're watching right now, they are not getting shade on this course at all.
No, not at all. I mean, you saw from the vantage point that Ben showed a little bit there on the parkway, but that's very little. And then once you get into the other parts.
I mean, the elites are great.
Sure.
They're awesome. I mean, we got a 42-minute finish here. But, these folks are running longer. I mean, even though the distance is the same, I mean, they're out there, they're running longer.
Yeah. I think we're going to head to Jason. It's hard. I'm not sure where we're going. If we're going to Jason in the media tent or what's going on. I know they put all the media in one place and the winners in one place to try and get them together.
Do we have Jason? Chris.
Thanks, guys, very much. We are with the winner right now, John Career, your 2024 champion. John, talk to me about that stretch run right down when it was you and Jamel towards the stretch. Last year, he got the best of you. This year was your turn.
Yeah, it was nice, Last year he kicked me the last, but this year my coach told me you have to stay and maintain, and then you kick him the last 300 meters. So I had to stay with him under the last 300 meters.
How much fun was it to run out there today?
It was nice running. People are cheering us. We have many spectators, and I'd like to thank them for coming to cheer us up and give us a morale so that we can enjoy running in the street of Boilermaker.
Is this a city that you love to run in because you've done well here before?
Yeah, it is a nice city. This city, and I loved running this city because last year I was second. This year I was first. I don't know, maybe next year I can come back again and win.
Oh, does that mean you're thinking about coming back?
Yeah, I'm thinking about coming back.
Oh, we'd love to have you back. John Career, your 2024 Boilermaker champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, love to hear that. He loves the city, loves the fans, loves the music. What's not to love? Steve, Kristen, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jason.
And around Jason, where Jason is, there's a media tent set up, right in the parking lot of the brewery where Saranac Thursdays used to be. And while Jason's right in the middle, all of the elites are running like as if it's a track around the tent that Jason is in.
As a cool down.
As a cool down. That's something I've never seen before or noticed before.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd want to do after running 9.3 miles and almost a sprint, is then run a little more. But that's why they're elite runners, and that's why I'm sitting up next to you, which I love.
How dare you?
There goes Mark. I'm going to change subject. There goes Mark Reina from Frankfurt. As we get,
is his wife running? Do you want to call anybody out at this point? Okay.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
No, hey, I'm okay with it.
I saw Bob last week. He didn't say that. He mentioned that I called him out last year, but he did not add the part B that he wasn't running.
All in good fun.
I know. But Mary Beth did say she was going to. So he's probably more embarrassed of getting, not embarrassed, Mary's in phenomenal shape. But I have not seen her cross yet.
We're going to take a quick break here from the finish line, and when we come back, more coverage of the best 15K in the country on News Channel 2.
Come on, I got you.
All right, we are back here for News Channel 2's coverage of the 47th running of the Boilermaker 15K, the best 15K in the USA, and it is awesome once again this year here in 2024 as we have the steady stream of runners crossing the 5K start line here on Burstone Road, meaning that they are more than 2/3 of the way through this Boilermaker 15K road race. Spencer Davidson and Luke Radel here taking you through the action, and Luke, we've seen some more characters run through here. Just what are your thoughts at this moment?
Yeah, we saw a man in a banana costume run by a second ago. I think people like being on camera, Spencer, which, you know, I can empathize with. This is the career I've chosen, but it is really exciting to see folks get excited to see the Channel 2 camera and show everybody that they're running the Boilermaker. Hopefully some of them are still running. Some of them are walking, which I understand at this point in the race, but you know, it's very hot, but it's been a good race for everybody. Really impressive crowd. We're still going by here. People have probably been running past us for the past 10-15 minutes now, and there's going to be a steady stream going by for a while.
Yep. Just saw the younger brother of one of my high school friends run by. Another character for sure. We saw Utica University men's ice hockey coach Gary Heenan run by with his son just a few minutes ago. Always fun to see him, and yeah, it's just, yeah, that is, yes, yep. So it's talking about someone who likes being on camera, right? But you know, I think one of the things that always makes me laugh too are the costumes, and not only for people showing their creativity and you know, being the characters that they are, but quite honestly, some of the costumes, I'm like, how do you run in this heat with those costumes?
Folks carrying the American flag, 2 or 3 people along the way carrying the American flag.
Yeah, and we also saw a man pushing one of his children in a wheelchair, running the race. Unbelievable effort there. So that is going to do it for us here, though, on Burstone Road at the 5K start. We're gonna toss it now to Bill. Take it away.
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis in with a 1:13 finish.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, now I got to ask you though, before I get into how this compares to other events, how was the heat and the humidity?
Yeah, it really wasn't bad. The sun takes a toll on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it was a pretty comfortable start. It took a little bit longer to warm up, and it really didn't get too hot to the last maybe 2 miles.
Everyone was saying that the entertainment along the course this year was going to be more than we've seen in the past. I mean, did you feel it was any different?
I felt so different this year.
Yes.
The crowd seemed much bigger compared to the past couple of years. It kind of reminiscent of the times where it was 15,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. The crowds were big, energetic, and nonstop the whole time.
And you make this look easy. How
I
does
broke
this
a sweat.
compare? How does this compare to your past times?
A little bit slower. I'm getting older.
Oh, stop. But this will be somebody who will advise you, you know,
Yeah.
this is not the day to go for a run, and then he'll come in and say, oh, I did 5 miles today. I did 9 miles today.
Train in the heat.
Train in the heat. But nice to see you finish
Yes.
again. And I know you come to enjoy this event as
Yeah.
if, you know, it's almost like your home turf.
Yeah, it's like homecoming.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see so many people come back to Utica. Actually, one of my friends, part of a running club down his way in Poughkeepsie, got to hang out with them last night. A bunch of people, first-time runners. It was fun to see their perspective coming up here, how they were.
I say that
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, we've done this so many years
Yeah.
now, but when you have the fresh perspective,
Yeah.
you're reinvigorated.
Yes, exactly. It was exciting. Yeah.
Did you feel like you were not rolling out the welcome out?
I was
were you
like the chaperone.
Yeah. Yeah. And over here we have,
Uh-huh.
East Utica, and over here we have South Utica. You're pointing things out to them along the way. Crowd-wise, I know you're talking about spectators. What about the runners? Like, did you feel like you were running in a pack the whole time?
Oh yeah. It was continuous. It's always tough in the beginning. There's a lot of people that you have to kind of weave around, but it opens up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's a little challenging the first couple of miles, but then it thins out, and then it gets really nice towards the end.
Oh, good deal. All right,
Yeah.
Bill, nice job.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for stopping in with us. I know you want to head to the party as well.
I got to get a drink.
Got to get a drink. I understand. Oh, I have water over here in this
Okay.
bag if you need
Sounds
it.
good.
While we are talking about first-time runners, I just want to give a shout-out as we're looking for the News Channel 2 logo on our screen. Justin Lang, Rob Dwayne, Jennifer Stein, Kelly Ross, Victoria Ogrodnik, Tiffany Ann Hernandez, Paul Lucky, Michael Child Rose Wren, Melissa Snyder, Brittany Niles, and Antonio Harris. That is Go the Distance 2024. Let's give them an extra push when we see them out there. were looking for the News Channel 2 logo. They came into this training period as strangers. They didn't know each other. They didn't know what to expect. Maybe they had a little bit of experience. Maybe they've run a 5K. But 15K was not in their wheelhouse when they first stepped in to the course, into the program. And now they're leaving as friends. When you check in with them throughout the training, you can see those relationships build. And I can tell you, it doesn't stop when the training stops. We still see classes from years past. They're the closest of friends. Now with social media, it helps them stay connected even better. But they still come together, and they recognize each other as that class year. Like, they'll say, okay, yeah, we're from 23, we're from 18, we're from 17. You know, we go all back all the way to the 90s here, and we still have people who have participated in the very first year volunteering or running in this program. The volunteers is what makes it successful. So I am just going to put out that blanket call. If you are watching and if you're inspired by these folks, you can do it too. Remember this moment when we put the call out to go the distance. You know, you may think to yourself, this isn't for me. I have seen dozens of people come through this program, either become runners or at least stay connected to the running community. And Steve, you were talking, Steve's back here on set, you were talking about, you know, having your reunions, having your parties around Boilermaker time, weather-wise, but also this is when everyone comes together. And whether you're a runner or not, you feel connected to the sport when it's Boilermaker weekend.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely. And in fact, you know, there's Mary Beth Herod right there. I want to give her a shout out. She did finish, right? She's okay. Bob, again, did not run, but let Bob know that Mary Beth is okay. She legit just did a jumping jack as she came across the finish line.
Making it look easy.
So she's crazy, but we love her, and good to see her again. You mentioned, going back to the thought process of it's a holiday, right? Christmas in July. We've used all those cliches, but it's true. And you know what's interesting, and we talked about this as we were getting into the late 20-teens, 2017, 18, 19. Joe Parada Jr., you running for UFD. Again, UFD versus UPD competition. No, not having a competition, but both are represented. You see that, but UFD running right there. That was Joe Parada Jr. But yes, in the late 20-teens, it seemed like, I don't want to say that it went down, that the enthusiasm went down, but it just became, folks were almost like, it became run-of-the-mill. But now you just see a lot more.
It's picking back up, I think.
That's what I'm saying. After COVID, and I think, you know, COVID, it went into October one year. We didn't have it one year. You know, and now it's just, it's back. I want to say it's back. And just a complete anecdote, and it may or may not be related, but go to the Friendly Bake Shop in Frankfurt, and they said we are getting slammed with orders this weekend.
I found traffic to be heavy this week.
Yeah, and the restaurants, places were busier. So, you know, that's the hope, that everything is busier and more folks are coming back. Obviously, they've been expanding the field year by year, trying to get eventually to those pre-pandemic numbers.
I also think where 4th of July versus the Boilermaker, where they fall, sometimes plays a role in attendance as well because of traveling. This is the latest a Boilermaker could be. So if you follow the formula of second Sunday in July, this is the latest a Boilermaker can be. Obviously, July 8th would be the earliest it could be, but little known fact, I was doing my research, and I've kind of overlooked this in the past when I'm reading about the history of the race. The first Boilermaker was July 16th.
Which would have been the third Sunday.
Third Sunday in July.
Wow,
right?
How about that?
I've read those pages year after year and don't even think about it.
Well, there you
and
go.
I was looking at that date this year and it stuck out to me.
Nice, nice. Hey, we were talking about Christmas in July and parties, and they have a big one here, the post-race party. That's where all the runners from the 5K, 15K, their families, everybody meets up and has a good old time and celebrate a great day here in Utica. Who else would we send to a party but our very own Katrina Smith? Katrina, take it away out in the back of the FX Mat Brewery.
Hey guys, we are at the post-race party now, and you can hear the music behind me. There's thousands of people here. I just ran into Julianne Price, who is going to be singing with Showtime later on. Second half. This is the second time you're doing this, second year at the Boilermaker. What's it like performing in front of this crowd?
It's beautiful. It's a lot of energy that this crowd gives back, especially because they just ran and they were like, they have all this adrenaline, and then they're so relaxed here, and then we bring the energy back in them and they start dancing. It's just beautiful. It's very nice.
How did it come about that you came and started performing with Showtime? You know, like they've been a staple year after year here, and now you're here, and we hope you're here for years to come because it's a beautiful addition.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's a beautiful addition to have you here. So how did it come about that you started performing with Showtime at the Boilermaker?
Well, so they asked me to, like once in a while, sit in with them. So today I'm going to sing Love Shack, and that's so much fun. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack, you know. It's just an addition. I mean, they are such a great band. They are the highest paid performers, I think, in this area for good reason, because they just bring great performance all the time. But for this very special event, they always add more performers. They have guest artists, and I'm honored to be one of them. Scott Rutledge is up there. They have a whole brass section today, so they just add on. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so glad we ran into you. Head backstage and get those vocals warmed up. And guys, we will be at the post-race party. It's going to be a blast. We'll send it back to you for now.
All right, Katrina, thank you so much. The party is filling. Well, now that Katrina's there, the party has started.
Yeah, that is not coincidental, and I'm not sure if you heard her mention. So Showtime, again, getting the draw this year, playing at the post-race party. Local favorites, obviously, but they got special guests with them this year, including Ben Kidwell, local savant, I guess I would call him, as a piano player. We do have a gold distance runner coming up. Real quick, Mayor Galimi's going to sing with them, Dana Gerard from Soul Injection, Scott Rutledge from Classified, Juliana Price, and Melissa Manfredo.
Is the mayor singing?
No, mayor's going to play sax.
So he also ran.
Yes, I believe he did. And that's that is one of our go the distance runners.
Her sister ran last year. Jason, we have a go the distance coming in.
I'm going to go old school here and have Jason go find our go the distance runner and see how things went. And again, Kristen was talking about.
So Mayor Galimi, he ran the race.
Okay.
Or is running the. I don't know if he's finished. He's going to have to go pretty fast if he's playing with Showtime. He will be the second mayor in the history of this race to participate. Tim Julian is the first.
That's correct.
He said, as long as things go well, I will be the second.
Right, and they actually took a picture yesterday, put it on social media together.
Welcome to the finish line.
You are looking live at the finish line here at the Saranac Brewery down here on Court Street. And when these folks are done, they're going to take that left turn down Varick and then another left into the post-race party. And that's where we checked in with Katrina Smith earlier. We'll hear from her again shortly.
Watch some of the Pacers come in. That is incredible to run the race holding a sign.
Oh, my goodness.
So the Pacers they train for a specific mile time. So you can kind of keep your eye on that sign to know how fast or how slow you're going and try to keep with the pace you're used to. So we just had somebody come through who's probably running, I don't know, 8-minute mile.
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to keep pace with her.
Oh, okay. Wow. Like I said, when the two elite runners were going back and forth talking to each other and trying to do the math in their head, I'd have trouble crossing the street and doing that, especially while chewing gum. Now, we were throwing some facts and figures out there. This year, again, thinking about 150 kegs of beer. That's the estimate will be consumed this year for the post-race party. Again, it depends on how many of our folks get to the post-race party before it ends. But, yeah, just a great day here so far. Now you're going to see a lot more local faces coming across the finish line. All right.
Bill said, though, you're running with the pack the whole time this year.
Yeah.
It did break open. You know, you have your stride.
Sure.
But you can tell coming across the finish line, we're coming in numbers.
Right. No doubt. And this is going to be tough to do your personal best in this humidity.
Allison Shanley just crossing the finish line.
All right. Hey, we have Jason ready to go with one of our Go the Distance competitors. Jason, go ahead.
Hey guys, thanks very much. I'm with Jennifer Stein, one of our Go the Distance team. Her sister's here. She ran last year. Come on over, hon. Sit down with us. Move that chair over. Sit down with us together. So Jen, you sat down, and once you could breathe again, you said, I feel like $1 million. How was it out there?
Amazing. I mean, the cheering, it got me through, just like everybody said it would. It was warm, but I just kept dumping ice on myself. I kept going. I knew I had, once that finish line was in sight, I just gave it everything I had left.
You finished ahead of your sister. I mean, was there a little friendly competition going on with you two?
I mean, for her, yes. I told her. I knew she was going to be faster than me. She spent all the time training saying, no, you're going to beat me. You're going to be faster than me. I said, no, once race day comes, you're going to book it, and you're going to be faster than me. So, but I'm really proud of her. She did great. She trained so hard. She followed in my footsteps. I did this last year. I encouraged her to do it, and she finally did it, and I'm just so proud of her. She did so great.
How amazing is the feeling right now?
Incredible. I'm on top of the world. This is the best I've ever felt.
You told me about a year ago you were not in a great place. Where are you a year later?
I feel good. I feel accomplished. I'm proud of everything that I've done in the last year. I'm proud of all of my teammates and everything that they've done in the last 12 weeks. Yeah, I want to keep doing this and keep going, and I feel good, and I'm in a good place.
Your teammates are on their way in. So's your husband. Are you tracking him right now?
Yes. Yep.
How far away is he?
I gotta look. He's not far.
We're going to look live on television. Here's another one. Rob's here. Let's make some room for Rob. Come on over. Rob Dwayne, our Go the Distance teammates here. Where's your husband? Do you see him yet?
Not yet.
He's coming across very shortly. Where's Rob? Rob's on my other side here. I'm never going to be able to stand up. You guys realize that. And you guys did all the running today.
Whitesboro. He's on Whitesboro.
He's on Whitesboro Street, so that's good. Rob, how are you feeling now?
Exhausted. Burstone really got me, but it was a whole lot of fun. It was awesome to see the whole community out, and hey, I might do it again next year.
So what was it like out there? Did all that extra music, because everybody usually runs with earbuds and everything, you didn't today. How much was that like to help you get through this?
I mean, it was awesome seeing all the people cheering and saying WKTV, go the distance, and I love the sprinklers, and the bands were awesome.
They're awesome. Now, if somebody's out there watching and they're like sitting on their couch right now and they're like, oh, you know, maybe that'd be something I should try, what would you tell them about writing a letter next year?
Sign up. It was a great experience. I met some awesome people and some awesome volunteers, and I met Jason, who's awesome as well. So it was really cool.
I appreciate you not calling me Uncle Jason. That's good. Rob, congratulations. Enjoy this with your teammates and your family. You've earned it. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Jen, he's coming down Whitesboro Street, right?
Yes.
Who else was around you from Go the Distance? Or did you I think you're first.
I only saw Rob.
Have you seen Justin yet today?
No, this morning, but I haven't seen him since the course.
All right, so is Justin on his way, Rob?
I think so. I started with him, but then all the crowd of people, you just get lost, kind of. So
you get lost. All right, well, we'll be watching for Justin and your husband and the rest of our team. I want to send it back to Steve and Kristen here at the start line. Congratulations. I'm so proud of all of you, all right? We'll catch up with you a little later. Back to you guys.
All right, Jason, thank you. What an experience. Now, everyone says nothing beats your first Boilermaker, but to see them coming back year after year as well.
No doubt. It is something to behold, no question. Hey, speaking of something to behold, we're going to have the post-race party again. We're told there's a contest going on, and in the middle of it, once again, is our own Katrina Smith. Katrina,
and
good morning.
Eric.
And Eric, that's right. Sorry, Eric Gage as well.
Yeah, Steve and Kristen, it's just a friendly competition here. We noticed that the Marines booth had this chin-up bar, and I challenged Eric Gage earlier to a chin-up contest. He may beat me, he may not, but you see people behind us are participating. Running wasn't enough. We've got to do the upper body as well here, right? Eric, what do you think about this? You think you're gonna win?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a shot, and because you're behind us right now, someone already doing it as well. We're going to talk to the fine gentleman here and ask him the requirements, because you can do two things. You can do a pull-up or a chin-up. Now, I don't think I'm going to do a chin-up. The chin-up, you'll be doing this. And the pull-up, you'll be doing this.
First and foremost, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
This is really neat. It's a great contest here. What do people have to do to get a little bit of swag? Like, I got a lanyard. What are the requirements?
So on average, you do 5 for a lanyard, 10 for a bottle, 15 for a little drawstring bag, 20 for a shirt or a hat, and then if you get 25, we give you both the shirt and the hat.
What a great idea to have this here, and it's also promoting the Marines and what you do and what the Marine stands for. And talk to us a little bit about that.
So what we're here is just trying to spread awareness that, you know, either if you're fit or not, we always like people to like to take a challenge. And of course, the marathon, whether it's a 5K, 15K, or 25K, it's always great to challenge yourself and keep proving yourself and others around you. So we like to make this to boost some people's ego. So, you know, they'll be like, oh, I finished a, 5K, 15K, and still did 20 pull-ups. So, you know, we like to bring everybody in, just try to get them to come up here.
Very cool. Thank you so much. And this guy looks like he's going to do quite a few.
Yes, sir.
I mean, yeah, look at him go. So on top of running the 5K, the 15K, whatever, people come here and they still get on this bar and they do it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot of them, they've either never done a pull-up or a chin-up, whichever. So they always like to come up and just give it a shot. Sometimes they actually do like 2, and they've never done a pull-up before. Or maybe they do 5, and then they try it again and they end up doing 6. So it's a lot of them, you just see them self-improving.
Yeah. I think we need to get Eric up there. I don't think I can do more than 2. No? Have you ever run the Boilermaker?
I have. This is my first time here. I'm down in Albany. This is my first year here, but next year I'll definitely sign up for the race.
So you think we've recruited you for Boilermaker?
No, I mean, yeah, I think so. It's a nice little place here.
All right, we're going to be looking for your name on the roster next year.
All right.
Absolutely. All right, let's see how, well, yeah, let's get Eric up there next and see how many he can do. This is really, we've been watching these people, and I saw a guy do I think 25, and that's a lot. And I think I'm going to embarrass myself when I get up there because I have a feeling that it's going to be about 2. Let's see what Eric does. All right, meteorologist Eric Gage on the chin-up pull-up bar. Let's go. Let's see it. 1, 2, 3. Show off. 4, 5, 6, 7.5. Almost. All right, 7.5. I think I've got to unplug and I'll do it. I'll give
7.5, maybe 6.5.
Well, I'm going to do 2.
All right.
I'm going to do 2, I think. How do you feel?
I think I'm good for a little bit.
And you didn't even run.
I didn't run. I'm already sweating right now. The humidity's still pretty high.
Ran our gums here, you know?
Yeah.
All right. I think I'll get up there and try it and embarrass myself.
All right, are you ready? All right. Here we go. Katrina's after him is going to go up. He's at 17. Nowhere near what my number was. 18. 9. Almost 19 pull-ups. Wow, look at the arm strength on this guy. All right, here goes Katrina. She's doing some chin-ups. Chin-ups or pull-ups, whichever one you want. Here we go, chin-ups. 1, 2. Come on, Katrina. 3. You got one more, Katrina. One more. One more. 4. 4.
4 with a little help from my friend.
But obviously nowhere near the 16 that Joan gentleman did. I don't know how you can do that.
After running, too.
After running. I didn't run at all, so.
Okay, we have to go find some more. There's like thousands of people here. So after this, we thank the Marines for their service. We thank them for letting us use the chin-up bar. We'll send it back to you guys, and we'll find you some more sights and sounds from the post-race party. Woo! She did it.
She did.
Eric
listen,
did too. Awesome.
That's fine. Listen, guess who's not going to do that this year? This guy.
Well,
right here.
the people behind them are
sort of cheering them on. Yeah.
I mean, they're really good.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Katrina, when she works out, though, typically wears a shirt that says "swearing helps."
Oh, I'm glad she didn't do that. That'd be hard to explain. All right, let's see. Jason is, he's near us, and he's got another post-race party. Good God, Steve. Go the distance competitor.
It's a party.
Jason,
It's a party.
Guys, thanks very much. We are here with Justin Lang, one of our Go the Distance runners. Third one across the finish line. Hot out there today, wasn't it?
Just a little bit, yes. Today was hot. Well, we trained for it, so we came prepared.
That's the thing, is we did train in some hot weather, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
How special is this for you?
Being the first one and doing it with a team, it's the best. It's an amazing feeling right now.
You had some health problems as a younger man, and here you are running the Boilermaker. You got to be feeling real proud right now.
I am. You forget about it, but yes, as a kid, I had my lung partially collapsed, so I didn't think I'd be able to run or do much of any sports, and here I am today.
So if someone's at home right now, maybe they're watching, maybe they're going, geez, I'm not feeling the best. Maybe I shouldn't do any of this. It helps you get feeling better, doesn't it?
That runner's high, it is absolutely real, and if you have the opportunity to do this, do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
Well, as Papa Joe always says, the training's hard. It's the race that's easy. But this was a tough race today.
It's a lot of people. We train as a small group, but when you have thousands of people, it's a little bit harder. But it's incredible to see the community turn out, the runners show up, and you guys are here, so we're having fun.
Justin, go enjoy this. You've earned it. Congratulations. Thank you. Justin Lang, one of our Go the Distance team members. We still have a few more coming in. We're going to be standing here waiting for them all to finish throughout the morning. Steve and Kristen, send it back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jason. You are looking live at a shot of the finish line of Boilermaker 2024. Lots of your friends and neighbors and family and everybody else coming across the finish line. Great day so far, but we are not done yet.
Not done yet. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching the 2024 Boilermaker Road Race on News Channel 2.
Did you or family and friends run the Boilermaker this year? Then just go to WKTV.com, where you can find every person and their race time. Just go to WKTV.com. It's just that easy. WKTV's Boilermaker race results, brought to you by Quadsimia.
We're at 9% battery right now, so we've got to make this quick.
We're at 9. Oh.
And welcome back to WKTV's live coverage of Boilermaker 2024 as we are live. Ben Kinney with you. Champlin Ave and Whitesboro Street. Runners continuing to stream by here in front of the Stewarts. A big wave of them coming through. And this part of the course was silent last year. Why? Construction. Construction, big thing last year. We're going to zoom in on the runners now. We're going to do our best to do that. But this part of the course last year was not active. This was all under construction. So they actually had to do a detour all the way up, a few blocks up, the road. We are going to send it back now to the finish line with Kristen and Steve.
And we are here at the post-race party still. And what I love is the local flavor that you get at this race. Eric, we just ran into some high schoolers that are not just high school track stars, they're the Section 3 champs.
The champs, yes, and on top of that, they ran in this now humid, very hot weather.
So let's get right to it with these guys. Hey, Section 3 champs and now Boilermaker 15K. Is this your first time?
Second year.
How about you?
Same. Yep, second year.
First year.
Second year.
Second year. How does it feel to run this local race that's like the best 15K in the country after the accolades you've already earned?
It's kind of tough. It's a little hot, and it's not.
Hello?
Just over an unofficial time of 1 hour, 45 minutes.
Did we just lose people?
Yeah, it's so fun. We're having such a tight-knit group, and we just have fun every year, so.
What's the course like for you? Is it difficult because this is your first time?
There's definitely some difficult parts, but then as soon as you get past, like, probably say 5 miles, it's definitely pretty good, I'd say.
And how about you? Are you a senior, junior? What year are you?
11th grade. Yeah.
And what did you think of the Boilermaker?
It was tough. The hill really got me, and after I got into like at the end, it was pretty good. I booked it at the end.
Are you gonna run it again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All of you will run it again?
That's every year.
All right, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk to us and running the Boilermaker 15K. All right, Eric, we are going to send it over to Jason from here at the post-race party. Jason.
Hey, Katrina, thanks very much. We have more Go the Distance finishers, and the coaches finished too. Well, let's start first with Kelly. Kelly Ross. Okay, so you're new to the area within the last year. You work with the Salvation Army, and now you've run the best 15K in the country. You've done a lot in this last year.
I have, and it was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to do it again next year.
What makes this race so special? Because you're a runner. You've done races before.
The support, the crowds cheering you on, hearing "Go the distance, go, go, go" was great. Oh, I can't wait to do it again.
And talk about your team, because they're really a special group this year.
They're very special. Cheering each other on. We have a special group chat. We've been cheering each other through the group chat. And just even this morning, we were all together hanging out, lifting each other up. It was great.
All right, so there's somebody that's a transplant. They've just moved here. They're sitting on the couch watching this weird race on television. What do you tell them, especially if they've never run before?
Get off the couch, join the Go the Distance team. You won't regret it. It's been amazing.
Kelly, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I'm gonna shift over here to my best bud, Joe Wilczynski. You had an amazing run today.
I did.
You are you're 62 years young?
66.
Stop it.
I'll be 65, but 66 in August.
Oh my gosh, 65 years old. You ran a great race today. What was it like out there?
Actually, Jason, it was great. The crowds, it moves you along. It was a great run. The spectators, outstanding. The bands, the water stop, the volunteers. I'm pleased. I trained hard. Go the Distance helped me train this year. I'm pleased with the team.
You've run every single one. This is 47. You can say it now.
I can say it. I ran all 47. I want to thank my wife, my daughter, my son-in-law supported me for all these years and following me when I was running alone.
This isn't just a race, though. This is a way of life around here, especially for you perennials.
Yes, it's the Boilermaker is more than a run. There's many stories with Go the Distance. It's just personal. I love working with WKT. I love working with you and Kristen. It's just simply awesome, Jason. I encourage anybody who wants to run the Boilermaker, apply next year.
Write that letter.
Write that letter. It's just simply awesome.
Enjoy this with our team, with your wife and family. I'm going to go do more TV stuff, and I'll catch up with you later. I'll tell you what, I am so proud of the way this team has persevered, and they're still out there. We got 6 more to go. Joe is here. We're all happy, and people are still crossing that finish line, and they're looking good doing it. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you Thank you very much, Jason. Congratulations to Joe, Boilermaker number 47. Update for you, we saw Kelly Grates cross the line. She came over and said she was fine, but she's pretty sure that her son Connor and his friend Amara beat her by a while. And we have not heard from Kelly's husband Scott yet. He's still out on the course, so we'll have to see how that ends up playing out. But congratulations, obviously, to Joe Wilczynski and the Go the Distance crew, Jason, you, everybody involved with it. Another successful year getting folks trained to run this great race. And again, you're seeing a lot of local friends, family, and neighbors and everything else crossing the finish line here down at the FX Marriott Brewery. When they're done here, they will head over to the post-race party.
Just Andrew Weimer coming across, Jeremy Zabrowski.
Heard them say Tim Julian. We mentioned Tim Julian, the mayor, running the first Utica mayor to run the race back when he was the mayor. Now county legislator Tim Julian, but he finished just a few minutes ago, so congratulations to him. We heard Gary Heenan's name mentioned, Utica University, hockey coach, who crossed, that was a while ago he crossed actually, so he is probably cooling down, and then maybe, I don't know if Gary would go to the post-race party, I'm sure he did.
Wow.
And we just got an update from Jason that Face Wallace, and if that name rings a bell to you, Face Wallace.
We have a Go the Distance coming in, Jason.
Was the, Face Wallace was the...
That's Victoria.
Boilermaker Wheelchair Challenge competitor, and meaning if he, in a conventional wheelchair, finished in under 2 hours and 15 minutes, he would be given a racing wheelchair. He has finished, and he has done it.
What's unique about his story? He was a long-time runner for the Boilermaker. He didn't run in the Boilermaker, but a long-time runner.
Welcome to the 15K finish line.
I'm not sure if we still have Kristen's mic or not. Okay.
Long-time runner running marathons and ran the Boilermaker Road Race 4 years ago, starting to build numbers.
WKTV's coverage of the Boilermaker. Did you or family and friends run the Boilermaker this year? Then just go to WKTV.com, where you can find every person and their race time. Just go to WKTV.com. It's just that easy. WKTV's Boilermaker race results, brought to you by Quad Simia.
And we are back live for Boilermaker coverage here from West Utica. I want to finish my thought before my microphone went dead. Sorry about that. Face Wallace competing in a traditional wheelchair. He was supposed to finish in 2 hours and 15 to get the custom racing wheelchair. Crushed it. 1 hour, 53 minutes. It was an amazing time. Face's story is unique in that he was a long-time runner. Marathons, he ran the Boilermaker. 4 years ago, he started feeling numbness in his legs and was diagnosed with MS. Following this event, now that he's won the racing wheelchair, he's got his sights set on marathon run training again.
Awesome, awesome. Now, the flyover is scheduled for what time, 10 or 10:30?
It could happen anytime between 10 and 10:30.
Okay, because according to Ben has been tracking this, Ben Kinney.
He
said
follows some app.
Yeah, he said they're passing Hamilton Madison area, so they're going to be here soon. So Abby Scully was directing, and she asked me, and I told her 10:30. It's going to be anywhere time between 10 and 10:30, but it's probably going to be closer to 10. So we'll just keep everything right here and get ready for that. But it could be coming in the next couple minutes, just FYI.
I lost count here. Do we have the six-pack coming through? Do we have a full six-pack?
I don't know. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4 cans. 4 cans and a bottle. Do we have another bottle? No, we do have 6. We have 5 cans and a bottle. Well done. It started with just one.
That's right.
Utica Club, or Matt's. And now here we go. What's on tap is Utica Club here at the post-race party.
Oh, you see. Okay. I was going to say Blueberry Blonde, I think, is the...
you like that? That's a summertime favorite.
It is. It is. It is. There's the gentleman with the golf clubs running that Spencer had mentioned.
Speed golf to a new level.
Speed golf to a new level. We saw the gingerbread man come through.
Well, we did have to go through Valley View. Well, is he a 5K or a 15K? Now I can't remember. Maybe there's two people
It could be.
with
I don't know.
clubs. We are looking.
Sarah Sagerman. Amy Brewer.
There you see more.
Out of the Mohawk Valley Hill Striders, saw some Roman runners, the Utica Road runners as well.
We do have an update also. Scott Greats did come by. He gave me the flex sign as he came by, but yes, he was. He did not beat his wife, Kelly. Kelly beat him, but he did come across the line, so he is safe. And I know for a fact that they will be heading to the post race.
See, Bob, it happens to everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it is coming on just about the 10 o'clock hour.
Michelle Palladino just crossed the finish line. Her daughter Olive running the 5K for the first time this year.
Okay, now we are told that the flyover is imminent, so we will see how far away it is. But fill us in again on for those not familiar with the flyover. It's been all sorts of different things, but now it's yet again something different.
Yeah, you know,
It's
State
cool.
Senator Joe Griffo is always trying to recruit and secure somebody for the flyover. And this year's extra special because we have some locals. Lieutenant Colonel TJ Antonoff and Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Mowers. They are here from the 914th Air Refueling Wing, and they're joined by F-16s from the 180th Fighter Wing of the Ohio National Guard. But Lieutenant Colonel TJ Antonoff and Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Mowers, they live in New Hartford, but they are from Dolgeville. Local. They answered the call. They said, we won't miss this. They flew into Griffiths about 4 o'clock Friday afternoon.
Right.
And you know what was unique this year is they kind of opened it up like an open house. Come see our plane.
Yeah.
Come, see what it's all about. And that was cool. That was really cool.
You know, for folks that remember, there used to be Commander's Day at the Air Force Base, and that's when you got an open house for everything that was going on up there at Griffith. So a little bit of a trip back in time for an open house to see some of the planes.
Master Sergeant Corey Palmer from Syracuse, also a pilot.
And so we are waiting for that flyover with the F-16s. Should be pretty impressive.
I want to give a shout out to Earl Davis down here on our finish line camera, capturing all of the sights.
Jessica Miller.
After twilight's last gleaming, whose front stripes in bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we once were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was
And there was a shot of the flyover. The F-16s being escorted there. Again, all local connection there, and the national anthem being performed. All timed out perfectly. And again, just another wonderful part of that. Oh, and there goes the, is that a Black Hawk? Oh, that was a little close. I think I saw the color of the pilot's eyes there. Yeah, that just buzzed the finish line. So another big part of the experience here at the Boilermaker is the flyover. So if you're joining us just now, it is just after 10 o'clock. This is Boilermaker 2024 here on News Channel 2. You're looking live at a shot of the finish line where we've gotten folks. So now they're just about 2 hours into the 15K race. Again, they try to get everybody cleared off the course by 10:30 so they can open up the roads and get back to normal traffic. The post-race party, as we said, going on right now. You saw the picture of the American flag being unfurled as the flyover took place, all with the national anthem being sung at the same time. Perfect timing on all accounts. Your entertainment for the post-race party once again this year, the band Showtime. Justin Smithson on vocals, along with Joe Rossi on drums, Jose Lopez on bass and vocals, Mike Sales on vocals. Used to be part of Simple Props, now singing lead for Showtime, and as I mentioned, Joe Rossi on the drums, and Carl Goodhines, who's played for Classified and Target back in the day. He's on keyboards, but they got some special guests as well. Scott Rutledge from Classified, trumpet player, lead singer. Also got Ben Kidwell, very young pianist here from New Hartford. He's going to play a couple tunes for them. Mayor Mike Galimi going to play the sax as well. And we talked earlier, a couple of the other folks that are playing along with them. It's a whole community thing now, community partnership. As I mentioned, Juliana Price and Melissa Manfredo also taking part in the Showtime and special guests and friends as part of the post-race party. Hey, so Spencer Davidson and Ben was out a different, and Luke Radel were out on Burstone Road with Tom Guys, their photographer. They've made their way to the post-race party, so let's check in with them. Good morning once again, fellas.
Well, good morning once again, Steve. Not used to saying good morning, I've got to be honest. Luke is going to join us in just a minute. He is out looking for some interviews to get, but I have the distinct honor of being joined by Steve. You mentioned just a few minutes ago, we saw the gingerbread man go by the finish line, and here he is right now in all of his glory. So first off, what's your name there, buddy?
I'm the gingerbread man, baby.
All right, your real name?
Taylor.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from New York Mills.
New York Mills, all right, local kid. So where did the idea for this costume come? And it must have been so hot to run the race in this.
Yeah, it was brutal. I usually run in a costume each year, but I was like, you know what? In my mind, I was like, that'd be so funny just watching people run by me as I'm like running as fast as I can, you know what I mean? Yeah. The gingerbread man, you can't catch me.
Definitely can't catch him. Now, which race did you run?
I ran the 5K.
The 5K? Didn't want to do the 15K in the gingerbread costume?
No, I figured I want to die of heat stroke, you know what I mean? Yeah. Also, I can get first to the beer, you know what I mean?
That's also very true. So you mentioned you've been different costumes throughout the years. What are some of the other costumes that we've seen you in?
Yeah, great question. In July 16, 2016, I ran as a penguin costume. I mean, I think the years following that was a banana. I had a friend of mine chasing me as a gorilla. I ran as a rock chasing him as Indiana Jones. Last year, I ran as Pickle Rick. Okay. So, I mean, there's a couple years I'm trying to get people to do this with me, but you know what I mean?
Nobody's wanted to suit up with you?
Yeah, well, that's the problem is no one wants to actually, commit. But I stay fully committed each year. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. Have you been getting? I mean, I've noticed even in the time that you've been standing here with me, everyone's been walking by and taking pictures. They're definitely not taking the pictures of me. So, I mean, has this been something that you've been dealing with all day? Have people been coming up to you? What have you been getting? The feedback?
Absolutely. And it's the best part is what I really do is for the cheers. The kids they laugh, and I'll stop and pose for the kids for for families, and I think that's what really gets me motivated to to go. You know what I mean? It's the best part, and honestly, this is the whole point of the Boilermaker, is brings in the community, and that's the best part, man. I love this,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, thank you very much for joining me. It was a pleasure meeting you, Gingerbread Man. Go get.
I am so glad Spencer found the Gingerbread Man. He ran as fast as he can. Spencer caught the Gingerbread Man. This is year number 47 for Utica's famous road race.
Okay, welcome back. We are at the finish line here. Thank you, Spencer, for finding the Gingerbread Man. I know we were concerned. Hey, Jason is here with another Go the Distance competitor. Jason.
All right, thanks, Steve. I've got Victoria Ogrodnik here. Just finished the Boilermaker. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. I feel so happy for having the support of the Go the Distance team, my community, my friends, my family, and I just felt so prepared. Going into race day, I feel like all the hard work, all the training has paid off. I feel so great. I feel a little sore, but I'm really proud of myself for finishing the Boilermaker for the first time.
I love the sunglasses, by the way. They're so you.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay vibrant, trying to stay visible for all my family, friends.
And, of course, the power of the two. How many people were yelling for you out there today?
Oh, way more than I was expecting. More than just people I knew. Like the whole community. It felt great.
If someone's out there, and I ask this of everybody, if someone's out there watching this and going, gee, maybe I'd like to be a part of that, what would you tell them?
I would say absolutely. It really enhanced everything, the whole experience. I would not recommend this enough. I just feel so prepared, way more supported than I would have felt without being part of this program. And I feel like I've made a family, I've made friends with everybody here, so I really recommend.
And we are sticking around waiting for it. We've got about 5 more to go, don't we?
Yeah, I think so. Four more?
Four more to go across the finish line. We're going to go watch for them. I'll let you go get back to it. Thanks,
All
Victoria.
right, thank you.
Victoria Ogrodnik, what a great runner. She did a great job. This whole team has done a great job, and they stick together through all of it. The heat, the cold, the pain, because you know what? It hurts. It does hurt to run, but it also helps. It's good for you. And I notice a lot of people crossing that finish line. Oh, we just got another one come across. Kirk, right over here. Here comes Melissa. She's coming across the finish line. Here she is now. Yeah. Melissa Snyder just crossed the finish line for our team. So we're all excited she is here with us. There she is. Come on over, Melissa. We're excited. Melissa's here. Melissa, you did it. Come here. We got to let her catch her breath. She just crossed the finish line, and the reason she's emotional is that she ran this in honor of her husband who passed away a few years ago, who challenged her back then to do it, and she chose our team to write in a letter and go the distance with us, and she did it. She crossed the finish line. We're going to let her enjoy her moment. We're going to send it back to you guys.
All right, Jason, thank you. And, first-time runners are really important to this race. It's great to say, I have a decade in, 3 decades in. Of course, we have our perennials, but new blood is always a good thing. That's what's going to keep this Boilermaker going.
Absolutely. Oh, the Blues Brothers just crossed, too. So I think that's the 5th or 6th iteration of the Blues
Somebody
Brothers.
crossed with a dog.
Yeah, they were carrying a dog.
Did somebody hand them the dog? Did
I
they
don't
run
know.
with the dog?
That's a very good question.
I don't have the rule book in front of me, but I'm going to guess that's a no-no.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. All right, hey, let's go to the post-race party, and Katrina's out there with Eric. Hi, guys.
Hey, Kristen and Steve, I saw this woman run by with the American flag when I was at the start line, so when I saw her at the finish line, I needed to know the story, and I think you do too. This is Nancy from Syracuse. Nancy, how many Boilermakers have you run?
This is my 10th one.
10 years. And you come to Utica from Syracuse to do this, for 10 years. Why?
It's a great event. I love the spectators' support out there. and they put on a great party.
You have this American flag, and you ran with the American flag. Why do you carry the American flag when you run?
I carry it for our veterans that fought for our country. My father was a Navy vet. I lost him 4 years ago, so I still honor him. And it was mostly for our veterans.
Well, we appreciate you carrying it. It is a sight to see. It is a beautiful sight to see. It's an amazing tribute to your father and to veterans. How burdensome is it carrying the flag when you run the 15K?
I hear you.
How burdensome is it to carry the flag when you run the 15K, or is it just like, it's just, I do it?
It's not a burden at all. I'm proud to carry this flag for our men and women who fought for our country. I train with it all the time.
It's beautiful and meaningful. Do you train each year for this?
Yes, I do.
What's your training look like?
I only run 3 days a week, and I include 1 day of speed training.
So if you're at home and you're thinking about running and you're like, oh, it's just too much, I don't know if I can commit to it, like you've done it for 10 years and you have a pretty moderate training schedule.
Yes, I do. In between work, I go to the gym and keep my running up.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Nancy. Such a meaningful tribute. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate you doing this because a lot of us couldn't.
Thank you.
All right. Such a cool story. She carries the flag for her father, who she lost 4 years ago, and in honor of those who serve our country. So just a beautiful tribute. We're going to let you go and enjoy the post-race party because it's well-deserved.
Well, thank you.
All right. All right. And for all of you at home watching, I hope you enjoyed that beautiful story. We will send it back to you guys.
Hey there, guys. I'm here at the post-race party with State Senator Joe Griffo and Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciel, one on my right, one on my left. It feels fitting. Senator Griffo, thank you very much. I do my best. Tell me a little bit about the importance of this event, bringing the community together.
Well, this is an excellent demonstration of what we are as a community. People that care, people that get involved. Extraordinary event. Thousands of people here. Law enforcement's doing an extraordinary job. The organizers, people are having a good time. It was a phenomenal race. Great flyover. So this is what we're all about, and there's an economic benefit to this too. So I applaud everyone who has done so much.
That's right. The beer is free today, but it's a lot of advertising for Saranac. Talk a little bit about the efforts for law enforcement securing an event of this size.
Certainly, it's a very large magnitude of law enforcement members, but this is all about teamwork. It's all about support from all levels of government. From obviously the operation is headed up by the Utica Police Department, but we're here to assist state police, our federal partners, certainly our elected officials. It's all about teamwork. As the senator said, it's coming together for one of the best events in this community. We're very proud that the Sheriff's Office could be part of it, and just an awesome community, and it's a greatest country in the world. So God bless America, and it's an awesome day here in Utica, New York.
God bless America indeed. I'm going to send it back over to you guys at the finish line.
Luke, and I want to make a quick programming note. Luke is heading out to the Republican National Convention to do some coverage for us out there starting tomorrow, so safe travels out there. I want to remind you that right now CBS News on CBS Utica is doing a special report, just bringing folks up to date on the happenings of yesterday, the apparent assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump, so they'll be bringing you up to speed on all of that. We have another programming note to tell you. Due to the coverage of yesterday's incident in Pennsylvania, the coverage of the kids' run did not go on at 7 o'clock on CBS Utica, so we are going to play it for you coming up in just about 15 minutes. We're going to play the kids' run for you at 10:30. That's 10:30 Eastern Time right here on WKTV NBC.
Give me about 15 minutes to call all the kids you know that were involved.
Exactly. And again, we're also going to run it again on Monday, tomorrow at 7 o'clock on CBS Utica, so don't panic. But if you're watching us right now on the live broadcast, not the rebroadcast, if you're watching us right now on the live broadcast, telecast of the our program yesterday from the kids' run will be will be broadcast. There you see the wheelchair competitor. Is that Herman?
That's Herman.
Herman Garrick, our
Came in
second
second.
place.
He had an amazing finish. He's our 2021 champ. Josh Cassidy came in first.
Yeah.
This is his 4th Boilermaker win for Josh Cassidy.
4 or 5. Okay.
I asked him. He wasn't sure, actually. he wanted to see my notes.
Yeah, usually when he's here, he wins. So that gets it right there.
Yeah, but what an incredible field of athletes. And Herman, you know, he's not only from Utica here, but he's a recruiter.
Yeah,
There he
that's
is.
right.
There's Josh right there, being announced from Ontario, getting his first place medal. But yeah, Herman goes from event to event recruiting people. And while we are talking about the wheelchair athletes, there was, you know, a special event where, you know, there's like a wheelchair circuit where I think it was called they called it the Triple Crown, where you compete in 3 different races. Mike Olson, another local competitor, he competed in all 3.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, that's the shot of the post-race party right there. In the middle of that sea of people, we think, is our own Katrina Smith and Eric Gage.
I think it's Peachtree, Cedartown, and Boilermaker.
And welcome back to the post-race party. I just found an out-of-towner who just relocated to the area, South Carolina, right? This is Samantha.
Hi.
What do you think of the area, and what do you think of the Boilermaker so far?
Oh, I love it. This is actually my 2nd time running. I ran in 2019. I love Utica. It's awesome. I love all the people here, and the Boilermaker is so awesome. So many people come around from so far just to run it, and they have such a fun time, and the post-race party is super cool.
Where in the Carolinas are you from?
Upstate, Spartanburg, Clemson area. Yeah, awesome. Home of the Tigers.
What made you choose to come here?
My boyfriend's family, actually. His whole family lives in Baldwinsville, and they love it. They love it here. You know, the grass is always greener, and it actually is here.
So from Carolina to Baldwinsville to Utica for the Boilermaker, and you did the 5K.
I did. Yeah, it's awesome. I don't think I could actually do the 15. It's my goal to one day, but definitely not right now.
I'm right there with you. I don't know if I could any day, but I'm glad that you have a goal to do the 15K.
Oh, yeah.
5K, it was easy. It was not too hot, right?
Oh, it wasn't easy for me, but it was a lot of fun. It was definitely hot, but being from the South, I love the heat. The sun is my friend.
Well, thank you, Samantha, for talking with us, and thank you for being here. We hope you stay for good.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll send it back to you. We're going to continue to enjoy the post-race party, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right, thank you very much. Well, one of the best parts about the Boilermaker is, of course, the community and the family aspect, and we've got a lovely family and friends here. First off, well, can you just tell me your name?
My name is Christy Mahar.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from Westmoreland, New York.
All right, another local here, and so you ran the race today, and you had some spectators. Which race did you run?
I ran the 5K today.
Okay. And how'd you do?
I finished, okay, the Apple Watch says 33 minutes, so I haven't had the official time yet. I haven't looked that up.
Very respectable, very respectable. What was it like running in those conditions?
It was amazing, though. I didn't have any issues. I think we started early enough where it kept you cool. No issues at all.
Very cool. And you had some spectators here, daughters, some of their friends. Yeah.
Extended daughters.
What did that mean to you to have them cheering you on?
Amazing. That's that was my thought the whole time through the race. Is like, hey, you just got to keep going. You can't walk by your kids. You got to just keep running past your kids so they can see that and they can see the strength that you can draw from it. You know, it's very important to me.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to go through. What are all your names?
My name's Emma Mahar.
Okay.
My name's Allie Jesuit.
What's your name?
Zoe Polero.
Okay. And what's your name?
Charlotte Mahar.
And this is your mom? And you watched her race. How did that go? Did you enjoy watching her race?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to do a race soon too? Are you going to think about doing it next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys? Are you guys thinking about running the race next year now that you've seen your mom and your friend's mom run?
Yes. I'm thinking about doing the 5K.
The 5K? Very cool. The 5K too?
Yeah, probably.
How cool was it to just be around and see everybody and having everybody cheer?
It was very cool to me to watch everyone pierce through the whole race.
Can we just have a go mom? Go mom?
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I'm glad you guys had fun, and we're going to toss it over to Jason now. Jason, take it away.
All right, thanks, guys, very much. I've got 2 5K winners in my book. I've got Maddie and I've got Summer Walsh. Maddie, say your last name for me.
Zabrowski.
All right, so how was it out there today, guys?
Good.
Good. What do you think? This was the first time you've ever run the 5K, Summer. Tell me all about it. What was it like?
It was hard. Yeah.
How come it was hard?
Because it was hot and there was a lot of people.
You think you might want to try it again sometime?
Yeah.
What was the best part of running today?
Are
you doing it with your friends?
Yeah, doing it with Maddie.
How much fun was it out there today? What was your favorite part?
Probably when they had that water spray thing and you could run through it.
Yeah.
And the hills going down them.
So now, if any of your friends want to do it, what would you tell them next time?
That it's hard, but you can do it.
Yeah. See, that's the most important part. It's hard, but you can do it. How was the training for something like this?
Good.
Yeah, good training?
Yeah.
Did you get to run with the Go the Distance group once in a while?
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. Now, do you think maybe sometime you might, when you get older, try the 15K, the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah? How about you, Summer? You think someday?
I don't think so.
I don't know, 5K's enough, huh? 5K's enough. You guys were awesome. Congratulations on running. Maybe we'll see you next year. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
All right, so she says she wants to run the 50. Is our mom and dad okay if she wants to run the 15?
I couldn't hear any of that. Is that what she said?
Jason said, is she going to she want to run the 15 at some point? And she said, yep.
I'm following her papa's footsteps.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to Summer and Maddie there, making it a family affair here on News Channel 2. Hey, again, speaking of family and kids, the Kids Run, which we were unable to broadcast yesterday due to the events happening nationally, we are now going to run that today at 10:30 right here on WKTV NBC. So in a matter of moments, once we wrap up our coverage here from the finish line, we will send it down to or we will send it to that broadcast. There's the information on your screen. But we will also have it tomorrow night at 7 on CBS Utica. So if you don't get a chance to see it today, you will get a chance to see it tomorrow. And again, some big numbers there, right? Most ever registered? Was that what we're hearing?
1,500, about 1,500 kids.
Wow. So that might be the next generation.
That's exactly it.
Goes from the Kids Run to the 5K, and then hopefully from the 5 to the 15, and so that keeps going. Now there's the Boilermaker Encore information for you. If you didn't get a chance, or maybe you're running, you're just getting home, we're going to broadcast it again on the CW11, and that will be next Sunday, a week from today, at 11 o'clock. So those are all your times. The Kids Run telecast coming up in just a few minutes, and then the Boilermaker Encore will be Sunday at next Sunday at 11 o'clock on CW11. Hey, go to WKTV.com. That's what the page looks like, and it's got everything you could possibly want. Today's 15K race results, 5K historic race results. You've got the map, the profile, the interactive course map, programmed by our friends at Quadsimia.
This is a popular page. I'm seeing people come across, and we're about, 30, 50 feet from the finish line.
Yep.
And they turn to their friends and say, what was our time? What was our time? WKTV.com.
That's right.
Quadsimia has set it all up to be nice and interactive for us.
Absolutely.
Just click on the event that you participated in, and you'll be able to find your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know what? They're starting to take down the finish area here. We've seen the video of the live pictures of the post-race party. That is going on in full force, and that ends about noon. And then the post-race party will continue on in some of the establishments along Varick Street. And, we mentioned the guys from Showtime and some of their friends playing, but you're going to see some of the area's best musicians along Varick Street later. So the party continues on.
45 states represented, so there's a big reunion back there.
Oh, no question, no question. And then you said how many 45 entertainment stations along the...
45 entertainment stations as well.
So that lot going on.
One for each state.
Absolutely. Fantastic day here today. You saw an absolutely amazing pace for the men's today. Not quite a record, but maybe end up being a course record when all is said and done. And the winner, John Career. We had an absolute crazy finish in the women's division. Grace Nwau from Kenya, but hailing from Westchester, Pennsylvania. That's where she lives. She wins 49-18, the same exact gun time as the next competitor, also from Ethiopia. So that is it for our coverage here. This is fantastic.
This
Another
was a
one in the
great
book.
day. Another one in the books. We got finishers medals for the 15K and pins for the 5K.
That's right. Nice.
And as far as I understand, they'll get those in the end.
That's right. Hey, we hope you had a great time watching us this morning for WKTV News Channel 2's coverage of the Boilermaker 2024. For Kristen Copeland, I'm Steve McMurray. For the rest of the team and all the folks back at the station putting the show on for you, we hope you have a fantastic day and looking forward to Boilermaker 2025.